Hello. All right. I think we're good here. 1 second. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. Hello. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Hello.
Good. Just like 3 minutes left on my break.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Ask a question, quick.
What do you think about
How's your day been?
Wait, no. Kiki has got 3 minutes left on their break. What's your
Barbie?
question?
What do you think?
Has it been hot?
Kiki, what's your question?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of Barbie?
I liked it a lot.
Hell
There
yeah,
was one
let's fucking go.
part that was like a little preachy in a literal sense. And that was
Yeah,
kind of
I
like,
get what you're saying.
but I could like forgive it a bit.
I saw both Oppenheimer and Barbie yesterday, and I think I like Oppenheimer slightly more, to be honest, but
That's
Barbie was
fine.
still great in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm seeing Oppenheimer tomorrow.
I don't really plan on seeing any of them, although I would probably be rushing to see Barbie more than Oppenheimer.
I tried to do Barbenheimer, but I was robbed of that experience.
unless you
I
wanted to
guess-
watch it with described video for the visually impaired, which I would have done.
Yeah, I mentioned that in
I totally
chat.
would have done it and then just like made a review and been like, this is
An
what it was
actual
like.
full story.
It probably would have made me
Uh,
like the movie more, because that's what usually what happens with like boring movies for me, is it makes it less boring with described video.
You said
I-
that when
I-
you did the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The previews were like 20 minutes long. And I realized, oh shit, I did not factor that in.
Okay, Kiki, you have your
when
hand
I
up
bought-
and you have to go quick.
Yeah.
So what's your thing?
I fucking loved Barbie so much. I've seen it 3 times already. And it's
Nice.
like, yeah, like at first I had some issues with the third act being a little messy, but that was kind of remedied for me on a second
Mhm.
watch. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, watching the experience was kind of cathartic. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like I was being given something that I never really had the experience of having throughout my entire life. And in my mind, I'm just like,
Mhm. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. My crowds were awesome, except the one where some people wouldn't shut the fuck up, but we were all laughing throughout the entire thing, so that was pretty funny.
I had a
Yeah,
great audience for Barbie, for sure.
I had a great audience for Oppenheimer in the sense that nobody even made a sound, but I saw it in this. I saw it in the 70 millimeter IMAX, and so like there were people from like out of town, and it was like a really serious, like everybody who had a ticket was there to like fucking
Yeah.
watch a piece of art. And then Barbie, it's like half the audience was just there with their friends, and so there was a lot of like chatting. It was a very chatty audience, and very some people just went on their phones and stuff, like not even
Oh god.
just kind of like
Their
scrolling
fucking
through shit.
telephones.
I was so like comfortable by that point, and like they couldn't ruin the movie for me. It was just kind of like, eh. It was
Yeah.
like it was after Oppenheimer, and I was kind of just like, oh, this is a fun movie.
Yeah.
I've been noticing a really weird amount of like pushback against the Barbie movie, like specifically those from like right-wing grifters or something like that.
Ben Shapiro
Of
and all
course.
that
Yeah,
crap.
yeah. So there was a
It's the
tweet.
longest movie ever.
It's expected,
Yeah.
Why is this?
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing.
because I was fixing my webcam, but then I
Okay.
decided I wasn't.
Okay. Well, the thing is, Ben Shapiro made a tweet I think yesterday, where he said, "My producers dragged me to see Barbie, and it was one of the most woke movies I have ever seen. My producers dragged me into the movie." Isn't that funny?
Well, because it makes
joke's
money.
right
That's
itself.
where they get clicks from.
It
It's
makes
like-
money because they like to complain about equality.
He doesn't care about movies otherwise. He just like,
Like isn't he like the
Okay, I
owner
gotta
of his
go,
own
bye.
company?
bye,
Like, couldn't he
Kiki, bye. Thanks for joining.
By
Alright.
Kiki. Oh.
Like, couldn't Ben Shapiro like overrule his own producers if he didn't want to see the movie? Because like, It's just like,
I
why
mean-
make that excuse in the first place?
Yeah, he doesn't own the Daily Wire. I don't know if that
Yeah.
He doesn't own the
So
Daily Wire.
he was
He's
su-
just a big part of it.
either him or someone on his team suggested that he see the Barbie movie just to complain about how woke it is, and that's it.
A critic who uses like wokeness as a measuring stick for like how good the movie is like the most.
Well, here's the thing,
useless
is, like, so-
imaginable critic.
So his tweet of him standing in front of the Barbie poster saying like, "Oh, they made me see it. I'll have a review out tomorrow." That came like I think days after he already made another tweet where he said, "The only thing you need to know about the Barbie movie is that it says the term patriarchy like 8 times in the movie." So that's clearly just somebody who watches him or who is loosely connected with him just told him that, and then he said that without having seen the movie first, and then later decided to watch the movie, which is very funny that he would, just say like, "Oh, this is all you need to know about it," when like at that point he hadn't seen the movie yet, and just someone told him that the word was in there.
I just think it's so transparent how a lot of these people are like, they don't even watch movies because like they want to see like something entertaining. They just want to watch it to like get this this like clickbait farm thing. I don't know how to describe it, but like
Mhm.
they don't see art in the same way that probably most of us do. They just see it like, I was also thinking about this the other day too with the other movie, The Sound of Freedom, where The Sound of
The
Freedom.
QAnon movie.
Yeah, where
The Sound
pretty
of
much
Freedom
everybody that-
fries. Sorry.
yeah, which basically everybody that was saying like you need to go see this movie, none of them said like if it was a good movie. Like none of them were like, yeah, I thought it was like a really fun action movie or something like that, or a thriller, I guess is what it is. Like I think the directing, I think the lighting is or cinematography is great. There's none of that. It's just like you have to see this movie because it's like the message is so important.
Because they're
And-
trying to stop you from seeing it.
Yeah, and it's just like
AMC's poisoning your popcorn when you go see this movie.
yeah. Like I haven't even seen like the trailers or any like footage from the film yet, but I'm just like, what's the hook really? Like the
It's about like it's some guy's like really exaggerated account of like him saving children, but then you look into it and it's like, oh, he kind of just showed up and insisted he was saving children, and then some of them were saved actually and some of them actually weren't. It was kind of like if you look into it, the articles are saying like, yeah, he would sometimes conflate sex trafficking victims with just purely sex workers and then say he's saving them even though they're not really being saved and they're not children.
yeah.
And then like it's kind of like an unreliable narrator thing, which is like, okay, you can make a movie about whatever and you can say it's a true story even if it's not. That's like every movie, right? But then it's like, I don't know, if the only reason you're seeing it is like just purely based on the messaging, then it kind of makes it weird.
At that point, I'm just wondering like, why isn't the movie just a documentary? Like if the message is that important, then like there shouldn't really be like a fictional retelling or anything.
Yeah,
like
I think it would be
that.
subject to higher scrutiny if it were a documentary
Yeah.
because,
I was saying
Yeah.
it should have not John Favreau that said that or some shit.
to make
Because
it.
it sounds like
I
they say, I don't
mean,
know,
yeah, but it's like a based on a true story thing, not like a singing, talking lion movie, right? Whereas like
Yeah,
that could
right.
probably make more sense as a documentary.
You know the weird thing? Oh, sorry.
I was saying you can't have a Gluckin get struck by lightning. That's not realistic.
Exactly.
I
Like,
also don't know if this is the case, but I think I heard somewhere that like after the credits of that movie of Sound of Freedom, there's like a post-credit scene with like the main character or something that just says like, "Hey, we need to get this message out to as many people, so please have other people come see this movie and stuff like that." And it's like,
Yeah, that sounds unsurprising. It's like you can really just trick a lot of people in the same way that like, I don't know, Coney 2012 existed just by saying like, this is important. You are doing a service by sharing this and making people buy this. It's like,
I'm pretty sure I did make a comparison to Coney 2012 in some Discord chat or something.
Mhm.
That's really funny that you say that.
Aether Muse, your hand is up. What's up?
I wanted to introduce you guys to my other cat.
Oh, yes.
This is Ripley.
Believe it or
She
not.
is
Very cute.
Tempest had to go to one of my mum's friends to live there because she was stressed out a lot and
Mhm.
over grooming. So she doesn't live with us anymore, but she's alive and she's happy now.
That's good. I hear that I hear that there's some like weird, interesting statistics on black cats because people consider them to be unlucky, so like no one adopts them.
That's sad.
That's so fucking stupid.
There's cat
why we
racism.
That's why we adopted our cats, because we thought nobody would adopt them because they're black. and I
Yeah,
love
people
black cats.
people think they're like they're superstitious about it. Apparently,
I hate superstition a lot.
Yep.
If the issue is that if they're unlucky, then like don't buy a ladder or don't buy a mirror and break it.
Bad luck's cool. Bad luck's a cool thing, you know. Like omen's a cool word.
Mm-hmm.
Something I cringed at recently was when I went to like SGDQ and I went in the elevator and the hotel doesn't have a 13th floor; it just skips to 14. And
Lots of hotels do that.
So fucking stupid.
It's
so in
because...
other words. Objectively speaking, the 14th floor is the 13th.
It's the
floor.
secret 13th floor. Yeah, you know what's funny?
Well, what if there's
There's in Vancouver, a lot of hotels and buildings don't have the number 4 because that's a very unlucky number in Asian culture, and there's a shit ton of Asians in Vancouver and BC.
That.
So
what
they
about
don't
those,
have number 4 either.
You know, I thought of something actually when you're in this discussion. What if there's like 100 floor building and they skip the 69th floor?
That wouldn't be nice.
Drawing.
That'd be the opposite of nice.
Oh, sorry, my computer cut out. I was trying to say that's the opposite of nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I said.
Yeah, sorry, my laptop.
We weren't talking about your picture, Aether Muse. We were talking about the 69th floor.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were. I'm sorry.
It was a joke I made.
We were talking about.
You know, and
the
going back to
floor.
going back to Sound of Freedom. No, I actually looked up the company behind the film that distributed it. Though it has a weird, shady history about like they apparently like it was a family-owned business in Utah that's known for like just doing like religious stuff. And what they used to do is they used to just like put movies on like a free streaming service called VidAngel until 2016, where Disney and Warner Brothers sued them because they were hosting certain movies on their platform without their permission, and they apparently torrented the films and just put them on for free or something.
Oh, you know, it's actually kind of funny now that I realize it. So I was actually when I was considering watching The Sound of Freedom in Georgia because I was like, I probably won't be able to find it in Canada when I'm here. So I was considering watching it, and then I saw it was over 2 hours. And I was like, no, I'll wait until digital. And now a thought just entered my head. If it's an activist film that's so important that everybody see it, why don't they release it on digital right now? Why are they preventing more people from seeing it?
Yeah, that is a good point.
Because there's a lot of documentaries that will just release themselves like on YouTube because they consider themselves to be important, right?
Well, it's also like it's kind of weird how this movie in particular is like in so many theaters across the country. Because like I don't think any other film of this type of like I don't think any of like the Daily Wire like produced movies are in theaters or anything like that,
Ben
right?
Shapiro's probably learning some marketing from this right now. He's probably learning
He promoted the
what
shit
to
out of
do.
this film on Daily Wire recently. I think he did a review of this film and
sure.
said it's one of the best films he's ever seen. So he probably jerks off to Sound of Freedom, knowing it's best.
I'm just like, I'll watch it. It just seems like a movie that's going to be really boring.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the biggest problem.
There's really no hook to the film other than like the subject matter. It's like I even if even if I wanted to watch it just because like I wanted to hear the message, it's kind of an upsetting subject matter to begin with, and like outside of all the background stuff with the company and stuff.
It's kind of funny how like every time like the family values people are like everybody needs to see this movie. It's always some weird like perverted torture porn thing, like, you know.
Let's be honest. This is the same crowd that always complains about how Hollywood is like too political or something like that.
Oh, of course.
Here's a movie that they're
this is an
like,
apolitical film.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for the non-woke, non-political 420 awards.
Yeah, what the fuck? It should be out by now. What's happening? He like made a tweet asking for an editor. I don't know if he found one that's willing to work for no money.
Everybody knows how bad he is, so nobody wants to.
Yeah, he'll just have to edit everything himself, I guess.
You think if he had nominated The Sound of Freedom that those people will show up at the awards?
Damn, he should. That should be an option. But what? I don't. We don't even. It's still unclear what year the 420 Awards is that's being released. It's unclear if this
It'll-
is like because they missed a year. Like this is
It'll be out 420 years from now.
like is it? They never did 2021 movies,
Yeah.
right? There was never a 2022 420 Awards. So we're in 2023 now. So what year? I don't even know what year. It doesn't even matter because the movies are from every year, I guess. But like officially, what is there like a wiki? 420 Awards. Let's see. I don't know why there isn't. Okay, here we go. It's in the Cool Cat fandom. There's a wiki.
There's a Cool Cat fandom.
The Cool Cat fandom wiki 421. There's a Cool Cat wiki.
There is a Cool Cat wiki. I've been there before.
You have to at least check to see if you're in there. You're most likely.
Of course I am. There's no way you can
The
have a
funny-
wiki without me being in there.
Yeah, the Cool Cat wiki is a whole lot of like if you go to Mama Cat's bio,
Hell
it
yeah.
has like the whole story about why the actress left.
It's a very fascinating adventure that we get to see.
Derek is such a fucking creep. Oh my god.
I was saying because of course Adam's on it. Like he's the one who made it popular. Like of course
I was the
it would
first
be on it.
person to review it, or potentially even watch it or buy it. We don't even know
You said that you found it through Everything is Terrible.
because they posted the trailer.
Oh,
just the trailer.
Yeah, just the
Okay.
trailer. So I was like hyped, and then I waited for it to get a release, and then I was like, I need to see this for sure.
Cool Cat should win Best Picture in my opinion.
Well, it did
Sure.
win Best Film at 420 Awards.
Of course it fucking did. Because it's Derek Savage's award show.
And the
love
Oscar
it.
goes to Inside Out.
I think that it's like the funniest and somehow most unsurprising thing that he creates an award show and gives him his own movie an award. It's literally the Nathan For You episode.
Pixar did that one year at the Oscars where they had Toy Story animated characters give out the Oscar for Inside
Yeah.
Out and stuff.
Or
So
like when
Yeah.
the Lion King 2019 had that for your consideration thing,
Mhm.
and all they left out was Best Animated Feature, and they just said
Which is
having
very
every
funny.
fucking- It was funny.
They
Yeah.
are so insistent that it's live action.
I love Disney so much.
Mhm.
That girl made
Adam.
that too, yeah.
So Adam,
Yes.
last time we were in the Hangout, we had a little bit of a talk about like food related channels or like those cooking channels.
Mhm.
There's actually one channel that I completely forgot to mention, and I think it's something you might enjoy. The channel's called You Suck at Cooking.
I watched a video on
And
that. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I know that
No, we're not
channel.
talking about Critical,
Yeah.
like Critical's videos where he reviews the awful cooking channels. You're sure we're not talking about his videos?
No, it's just the name of someone's channel, and they talk. They do cooking stuff, but it's like kind of comedic also.
I was
They're
joking.
they're basically like if How to Basic tried to make a legitimate cooking channel. Essentially.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like I like
Less
the editing
chaotic.
in those videos.
Less chaotic.
Yeah, but like the humor in those channel videos is really hilarious. Like they have some pretty good editing gags here and there, and the guy just always talks in like a very monotone voice. It's great, and also all the videos are like under 5 minutes, so it's a pretty easy consumption anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just thought I'd bring that up because I completely forgot to mention it last Hangout.
I'm gonna do my impression of the dude Pride Rock guy. Hold on. Is that okay if I do an impression of him?
Go for it.
Sure.
Wow, dude, Pride Rock!
That was not bad.
Wow,
Wow.
dude, Pride Rock.
Dude, home run. That's my impression. You know, speaking of Disney,
Dude, Pride Rock.
The wow was like uncanny on that one. The wow was like the same.
Wow.
Pride
Wow.
Rock.
You have to have like a raspy
Wow.
texture to it. Wow, dude, Pride Rock.
Wow, dude, Pride Rock. Everybody.
A hero for the silent majority.
Holy shit.
What?
I've never even
Pride Rock is in the movie? Wow.
But yeah, remember, like it's this is all still just a criticism of fucking the React channel shit. Because it's like
Yeah.
they can't get in the video if they don't say what they want, right? And so it's
Yeah,
obvious that they had like a deal with fucking Disney and that they were
Fine
they
Bros.
wanted them to say that
Yeah.
it was like
Like,
live
like-
action.
Yeah,
I
like
actually-
how many
I-
of those kids actually believe what
Yeah.
they said?
Like because
Well,
some
actually,
of them
I did
tried to
come
do it and they didn't even like fully commit. They were like, well, it's not definitely not animation. Like they were trying really
Well,
hard to like figure it out in their own
Little
heads.
lion, so it must
They're actually
be,
I
must be
did
a
come
live
up sorry.
action.
I apologize.
Go for
I
it.
did actually come across a couple of I did come across a couple of YouTube shorts that featured some of those kids that are now older now, and they basically kind of confirmed everything that
Yeah.
we thought, which is just that they kind of weren't really like they're kind of scripted onto how they were supposed to react. And anytime
Exactly. They've all
did
confirmed
anything
it.
like yeah, exactly. And it's kind of just I don't know, because the Fine Bros have always been like one of those popular channels from back in the day. Obviously, they're not relevant now, but like even I used to watch a bunch of those. Even though like nowadays, when I look back at it, I'm like, this is just like not genuine at all. Like,
They got-
Shameful. Sorry, I'm sorry. Just want to put this out real quick. Shameful opinion. When I was a kid, still going out of primary school, I actually enjoyed the React videos. I'm not fucking joking.
no, I
So
mean
did a
I
friend
did
of
too.
mine.
I did too, but like it wasn't until the whole like copywriting React thing that I feel like I just kind of was like, nah, you guys are assholes. I'm not going to watch anymore.
It's
Yeah,
not
that
just
was a
that, but
really
you know-
funny internet drama for them to like. Actually, that was really ballsy for them to do that. Like, that seems like that's such a like weird faceless corporate thing to do, and they were kind of putting a face on it because they were like, "Oh yeah, we're the Fine Brothers." And it's like, okay, well, you just made yourselves like a really interesting target here. You made yourselves like the main character of drama for a little bit.
I will say though, one of my favorite videos that were on the channel wasn't really the React videos themselves, but like every month they would do like a 50 YouTube spoilers of like certain month, and they would just be explaining like very quickly like some of the most viral videos that were on YouTube at the time, which I thought was kind of interesting to watch and just give me like something I could like look up online
Mhm.
to kind of view. But I
Oh my
think
God.
after the whole React copyright drama thing, even the quality of those videos just kind of went to shit.
Hello,
because they,
everyone.
Hello,
Because they-
avocado.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
because they
interrupt.
brought like no, it's
I
fine.
liked how their apology video was more or less them saying, like, no, you guys are just dumb and don't know what we were trying to do.
We're gonna talk to you like you're a fucking 2-year-old. We're the Fine Bros.
Oh,
We're gonna talk
what?
to you like you're retarded.
Why,
Wait.
Adam?
We're
Hello,
not
hello.
just
Sorry, I'm like,
we're not just telling stories, but we're changing lives.
I am
I can
changing
do a better
lives.
Darman impression. Come on. We're not, hey Darman fam, I hope you love that message. Please remember, we're not just telling stories, we're changing lives. I'll see you in the next video.
I'm so sad we never got a Darman apology video.
You know what?
That is funny how
I
he
wonder-
kind of just like avoided it.
He had a community post where he basically said, like, yeah, the protesters don't know what they're talking about. We paid them fine.
Maybe he's working on it. Like maybe he's going to release an apology through one of his skits.
I apologize by the way, Easy Game 69. I don't mean
No,
to
it's
be.
fine. It's fine.
Ooh.
I do kind of ramble at some points, but yeah.
It seems like people have like
Yeah, right?
forgotten the controversy for the most part because that
People forgot
always
about the
happens.
Fine Bros for the most part, to be honest. Wasn't there? I could have sworn this wasn't even the only controversy the Fine Bros had. Wasn't there like a thing where they had a old series with Shane Dawson and it was like really
Yep.
gross?
Yep.
Oh, Shane
Yep.
Dawson.
The
I
puppet
never
thing.
watched it.
Yeah, that
I don't
one,
remember
Hey Millie, and that. No, I remember now. I'm coming back to my mind now. Hey Millie was a series with Shane Dawson and the Fine Bros, and it was about like this puppet girl who like was learning lessons about like cum and shit, and then they and then the entire thing was like, oh, they're molesting the doll, but she doesn't know it. So, and it was like really gross and offensive and stuff.
It's worth purging from memory.
Just before
Yeah.
he jerked off to Willow Smith.
After
Maybe around that time.
Just on a little bit of a lighter note, I forget when this happened, but I think it must have been after the last Hangout. But like, did anybody see what happened with Smosh recently?
They got
They
Yeah,
bought back the
they
channel, yeah.
repartnered.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
watched them when I was a kid as well.
I
I
don't-
watched
I-
them back when they were so good. When I was going out of primary school, they were my favorite.
Yeah, I'm
I
really
don't blame
happy
you.
that I'm really happy that they're back together at this point. And you know, there was an interview that so Anthony does this whole thing where he like interviews other people on his channel. And
Yeah.
once the Smosh acquisition happened, he did like I spend a day with Ian Hecox, I think is what his name is,
Mhm.
where they
Ian
basically just
Cock.
talk. Yeah, where they basically just talked about like everything that has happened since Anthony left. And I thought it was really cool just to see them kind of reconnect after so long. And I do like how around I think the end of the interview or something, I forget where it was, but like Anthony even like acknowledged that like even if we buy back this company and the videos don't do as well as they used to, or like things come crashing down, at least it doesn't crash down with somebody else owning it. At least that he can say that. But like if the company goes down, he wants to go down with it. If that makes sense, which I think is pretty cool.
Respectable thing to say. So
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Oh, God.
I respect that at the very least.
I'm just noticing your profile thing.
Well, which one? Mine or okay.
That yours is also
Harrison
good.
Ford.
I like that one.
It was my exact reaction after coming out of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's how I would describe it.
Who all has seen that one actually?
I have.
Gibbs, I like your lamp there, your little dumpling lamp on your basket on your mic.
Oh, nice.
The little thing on your mic, the little smiley dumpling
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, thanks. It's shut off, but it's supposed to be like a
Oh,
have
God.
a little light
That's
cycle.
awesome.
I have all my lights on right now just because I'm finally in my new apartment.
Is
and
it
I don't
resting
have
on a
lighting
pop
installed.
filter?
Yeah, I have I always have two pop filters around
Mhm.
this, one for the front and then one to support like a plush or something.
That's
Full
fun.
disclaimer: I did not make this meme. Das did.
Oh, yes, of course.
I know Das.
I
Blame
was thinking of something
Das.
really. I was thinking of something really lighthearted, Adam.
Das,
like
the
maybe you
villain
could,
of the Fall
maybe you could
Guys
answer this for
streams.
me because I've been
Sure.
wondering this for eons, but I've always really liked that clapperboard decoration
Yes.
you have on that window. I've always been curious about what it's from, like how'd you get it? Because I've seen it forever,
Patreon.
and you've probably had it forever. And
The
maybe
Patreon,
said
the owners of Patreon sent it to me because I was one of the first people that used their service and transitioned to like full-time self-employment from it.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so like the first
Awesome.
year of Patreon existing, I was in the top 100 creators. Now I'm nowhere close. Because you know, people make like fucking. There's a way more popular people there than me now, and people making like, you know, animated porn stuff that gets like fucking 100,000 a month or some shit.
Mhm.
But
Isn't Hell of a Boss funded by Patreon? Kind of.
I don't know. Actually, I have no idea.
Do
But
they
yeah, I
still use
mean,
clappers in movies now.
yeah, they just mailed that to me, and for the longest time, I didn't have it in the background of my videos just because I had nowhere to like put it. But now in this setup, it makes sense.
Let's turn my camera on for a sec, because I on top of doing a Barbenheimer, I did
Mhm.
Barmenheimer because I got Pikmin 4 with the water bottle and stuff. So that was pretty cool stuff, and I've been playing that all day till this hangout. So
Playing what?
it's been a fun Pikmin 4. So
Oh yeah, is that
Yeah, it
like
just
an
came out the
actual new
same-
one or what?
it is a new one, Pikmin 4. They all the Pikmin games are on Switch now, so you could just buy all of them for the first two you could get for like $50, and then 3 and 4 are like $60. And 4 just came out yesterday, and I've been playing it,
Rare Nintendo, good idea.
putting all game. Yeah,
I'm still hoping they do that for Metroid Prime 2 soon.
they should. I didn't beat Pikmin 2, but I beat Pikmin 1 and 3, and I'm in the middle of 4 right now, and I'm enjoying it for sure. Pikmin 1 is fucking hard though, I'll say that.
A friend of mine that plays Pikmin or is like a really big fan of Pikmin games. She said that like the game's fun, but then once you get to like the caves and stuff, it's like really difficult and like not fun at all.
only 2 has caves, 1 and 3 don't, but 4 that they brought back the caves, but they're actually kind of fun this time.
I would like to play those at some point, but I don't know.
They're all on Switch, except they're all on Switch now. You can just get them on there. So.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. But I don't know if I have time to do it right now. Excuse me.
I played. What's your plan for like tomorrow?
Viewfinder, which I don't know how long it takes
that
to
game.
beat, but I think it's like a little short. And then maybe fucking Iron Lung.
Okay.
We're not doing Elden Ring until like September, because I'll just be saving that for when I'm in Atlanta.
You said.
And then I guess if we have time after that, we could maybe, depending on if it's just me and Scooter, if Shay is joining, we could maybe do like Smarter Than Fifth Grader or something. I don't know, but finish that game maybe. But yeah, I don't know if I have like a third or fourth game. I don't know how long it's going to take to beat all those things, but I need, because I'm gone in a week for Fantasia Festival, so I won't be here the Sunday after tomorrow. So I need at least like 8 parts of something to post on the playthrough channel, just to continue posting daily while I'm gone.
There's going to be a Jake Paul documentary. I saw it last night when Critical uploaded a video of it, that Jake Paul can have a fucking documentary on Netflix.
On Netflix, yeah.
Is it like a pro Jake Paul documentary, or what is it?
I guess it would be, considering, we're not going to make a bad documentary starring Jake Paul. He won't want to star in that. Maybe he will be stupid, but he probably is stupid, so. No, there's no probably about it. He is fucking stupid.
I'm just wondering, like, why does Netflix always try to like push these really terrible ideas for films on their service?
Did Logan Paul repay those people he scammed yet?
No, he's not.
Of course not. What do you think?
There's like just a copy Zilla video.
Yeah, I heard about that. It doesn't seem like he's going to. Like, the crypto scammers are not going to pay anything back unless they're legally forced. The whole point was that, like, the whole point of scamming people is that they got to scam people. So I don't know why they would pay anyone back just for like moral obligation. They'll do it if the government forces them to, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, because it's not like the crypto market isn't regulated.
I'm just glad that the whole NFT craze has kind of died down at this point. Like, I've not seen anything from it like for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what's happening with it?
I think the NFT concept has been almost single-handedly killed by folding ideas.
Yeah. It's just, I didn't really see what the whole point of it was, and like it just didn't seem like it had much practicality for everything else going on in my life. So it's like, why do I even get in?
I liked when GameStop tried to get in on the NFT trend like years too late, and they're like, here's an NFT that is traced from a photograph of a man committing suicide by jumping out of the World Trade Center.
Oh,
that guy. GameStop doing that?
Yeah.
What?
see that's the thing about NFTs, is that you could pretty much mint anything.
And there was an NFT sold by GameStop that traced the famous
Falling
Man image.
Yeah.
The fall guy.
We understand the internet. We know what the people on the internet want.
Someone's probably minted your YouTube channel, Adam. Someone's probably like minted your YouTube channel or something. Then turn it.
I think so, probably, yeah.
Knowing your community, going back to, you mentioned you saw Indiana Jones and a Dial of Destiny because of my profile picture and stuff. What did you think of it, honestly?
It was, the first half was insanely boring, and then the rest of it was like just poorly made, but not as boring. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. I didn't. I gave it like a 4 out of 10. It was fine for what it was. It was an old people movie.
I gave it a really generous 5 out of 10. I gave it like a really generous 5 out of 10 because I kind of liked the opening scene until they showed de-aged Harrison Ford and it looked like a fucking video game.
That went on for so long.
Yeah, I liked it at the beginning, but then it went on forever, and it got boring. And most of it was boring until the climax, in my opinion, without getting into spoilers. The climax I actually had fun with, just in the kind of a funny, bad way. But I agree. The most of it was boring. I gave it a 5, as I said, but it might just go down to a 4. I don't know if anything really.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the movie looks like it was made with $300 million?
No, because it's very there's no style to the directing, and it's insane that that this movie cost $300 million, because the entire point of Indiana Jones in the first place was because George Lucas was tired of wanted to do something other than Star Wars, and he teamed up with Steven Spielberg to make a movie that wasn't that expensive when they made Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then now you get to this one, which is a $300 million movie, and it looks way the fuck worse than the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the original trilogy uses a lot more like practical effects, so it looks better in that sense. Like even the most mid practical effects probably look way better than like most CGI. I'm just trying to figure out like why that much. Like what did you spend that much money on with the film?
It's reported that COVID was apparently ballooned the budget the same way that they ballooned the Fast X budget, I think. So
I see. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't planning on spending that much, but they ended up doing so solely because they think they wanted to spend money to make Harrison Ford look good in the opening scene and stuff. And secondly, it's just that like without COVID and inflation, they just cause things to balloon in price, I think, when making the film.
Hmm.
And it's even weirder considering that I liked James Mangold as a director. I liked Logan, I liked Ford v Ferrari and stuff, but then this one, it didn't feel like it was his vision. It felt like it was just a studio vision.
Here's the thing that I've noticed about James Mangold is like, he doesn't do a lot of comedies. And so there wasn't a lot of comedy in this movie. Well, I mean, there kind of was, but it just didn't go, it wasn't pulled off that well. B, every movie that he's directed, I'd never be able to tell it was him unless I was told that beforehand. He doesn't have like a distinct style or anything. He kind of just directs a movie, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Not saying he's like untalented. Like there's definitely stuff that he does well, but like without knowing that it's one of his films beforehand, I would never know. You know? Like you can't watch a movie by James Mangold and be like, yeah, this is a James Mangold film. You know?
He has like a very like the most studio style kind of director style.
Yeah, he doesn't have like a very distinct voice.
Logan was like the only film he made that felt like he did have a voice, and then Ford v Ferrari, it was all right, but that definitely did feel like a studio kind of mandated Oscar film in some ways. And then this film, Indiana Jones, it was so boringly shot, and there's just nothing interesting about it. Which is insane considering the budget and stuff. I mean, I mentioned this earlier, but it didn't do anything interesting for me in terms of like where it was going and stuff. And it felt like when I saw Mission Impossible, it felt like I didn't think Mission Impossible was great. It felt like a fucking refresher once I saw Mission Impossible, because it was like, oh, there's actual action scenes that are not CG for the most part, and there was actual stakes in the story and stuff. And whereas Indiana Jones, I was just like, move on, please.
That's kind of the feeling that I was also watching the Blue Beetle trailer the other day, and I kind of felt the same thing at least with that trailer, because like, our expectations for like DC films are like super down the drain at this point. Whereas when I'm watching the Blue Beetle trailer, I'm kind of getting a little bit into it, because it just looks not complete crap like the other DC films have been. And I was just kind of weirded out, because it's like what they're showing in the Blue Beetle trailer is nothing new compared to like some of the better superhero films out there.
Yeah, but it's on track to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, but like compared to everything else that DC's been putting out, I think it's at least decent from what I can tell, at least.
Shazam 2 wasn't that bad, honestly. I didn't hate Shazam 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I should have saw Shazam 2, but just never got around to it.
Shazam 2 is all right. The Flash, on the other hand, is like actually torture. It was a 1 out of 10 in my book, so that I don't know.
I think I have some I have some hope for the Blue Beetle. Honestly, like I don't think it'd be. I don't expect like anything amazing or anything, but it'll probably just be a lot better than everything else that we've seen from DC.
I mean, it'll probably be fine, yeah. But
yeah,
it doesn't look like it's gonna be that crazy. Sorry?
I saw the Nicolas Cage Flash cameo, and I'm like, wow, this looks great for a PS3 game.
Yeah. Looks very bad.
Yeah, I regret seeing The Flash in theaters. I do think it's fascinating how both The Flash and Indiana Jones are bombing horribly. Meanwhile, like movies like Barbie and Oppenheimer and even Mission Impossible are doing well because those, I think, honestly, more than ever, word of mouth might be important for a movie success. Like, because we saw that happen with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where that movie was projected to bomb, but then everyone said, "Hey, this movie's actually really great. Go see it," and it ended up being profitable for Universal and DreamWorks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the word of mouth is what made me go to see it, and I was really happy about that. In fact, actually, I think it was Adam's rating of 8 out of 10 that made me interested in seeing it. So yeah.
I love Puss in Boots.
Did anyone go see Barbie yesterday on the first day?
I saw both of Barbie and Oppenheimer yesterday.
Same. I did.
I saw it 2 days ago.
I'm only asking because like it was a crazy amount of people for Barbie.
Hell yeah!
It was like
pink
packed,
people.
Like really.
Half
packed.
the
yeah,
half the
everyone was
theater
wearing
were,
pink.
You know, funny thing, for one thing I will say about my experience with Barbie is the fact that there was this one mom that brought her 2 daughters in. The mom was like laughing her butt off the entire movie, but the daughters, on the other hand, looked bored. Which
It's
is
not a movie
funny.
for kids. It's PG-13.
Yeah.
Like the creators of Mattel and the producers of the film certainly don't mind if you take your kids to the movie. I'm sure they're not like advertising it as like this is for adults only, but it's just a part of a trend where it's like, oh, you make a movie for millennials, but you make it vague enough that they can at least tell themselves that they can bring their kids there, and they'll be like, ooh, I'll use them as an excuse to go when they really want to see it.
You know, that does kind of remind me of something I've been thinking about the other day, because you know that whole really annoying complaint about like, oh, you're just criticizing this movie that's for kids, like it's just a kids movie, like whatever. I've started to notice that those people only ever make the argument for like animated movies, you know, like they'll like even movies that are like live action and like PG. I feel like they would have a hard time saying, "Oh, that's a kids movie." If it's animated and it's like G or PG, they'll immediately think that it's like for kids, but only if it's like PG-13 or higher, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's not a kids movie." And part of what I'm starting to realize about that whole like mindset is that they apparently having a movie that appeals to a wider audience, like all ages or like family movies, apparently like that's exactly like the same thing as a movie being for kids, because I feel like there's very much a difference between a animated movie that's like, oh, this is a movie for kids, and oh, this is a movie for all ages. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a Paw Patrol movie that's coming out in like
the
a
same
couple
day
months
as Saw
like
X,
that.
so we're getting Saw Patrol.
But
Yes,
anyways,
dude.
yeah.
Studios are going to start doing that intentionally.
Yeah. But anyway, to finish my point, like I see the Paw Patrol movie and immediately I can see that and I'm like, yeah, that's a kids movie. Like I feel like if I actually like watch that movie and criticize it for being a bad movie, that would be mean, because it very much is a kids movie. Whereas like trying to have that same exact mindset for like a Pixar movie doesn't make any sense to me, because I don't really see those movies as kids movies. I see them more as like family movies. And so and that makes me wonder if like the population or the populace like sees animated movies as inherently something for kids rather than something for everybody.
I
like
wouldn't say that. Oh,
yeah, I think it's kind of like some people have that idea, but it's a really artificially created idea. Like I don't think that people naturally feel that way, but I think. Well, I think that a good amount of people do, but I think it's kind of like also just based on our culture and the media that we are fed. Whereas like in Japan, that's not the case at all, right?
Yeah, I just really wish that like a lot of people would understand that a movie can be like that there's a difference between a kids movie and an all ages movie, because I don't see a lot of Pixar films as being like kids movies. I see them more as like all age movies, you know? Like they're not specifically for kids, like anybody can enjoy it. Whereas a movie like the Paw Patrol movie, I feel like is like by definition a kids movie, but who knows? This might just be semantics.
Isn't Paw Patrol for like babies? My nephews watch
that's
it.
what I
They're
hear.
that's
but-
what
babies.
I have
Yeah,
a
that's
co-
what I mean.
One of my coworkers like has a niece that she babysits a lot, and they watch Paw Patrol all the time, and she knows like all the lore and all that stuff, and stuff.
The only thing my like nephews who are like 3 and 4, the only thing they watch that like I'll be like, actually there's 2 things they watch where I'm like, I'm gonna watch it too with them, is like, or like, you know, I want to watch it with them, is like Bluey and Peppa Pig.
I've seen a bit of Bluey.
Surprisingly-
It's good.
yeah. Surprisingly,
Bluey's all-
Peppa Pig's funny though. Like I didn't expect
Yeah, I
to
wouldn't
actually
know.
be laughing. Along with
You
that.
just reminded me, actually. You just reminded me of something. I think in one of the Peppa Pig games that just came out, I think earlier this year, they had a thing where, like, apparently the Queen of England is like a character in the show, and then in the game they had a thing at the end that said "R.I.P. Queen."
Yeah, I saw that on Ray Narvaez Jr. stream. he wouldn't
Well, they
expect
put the king like
he's just like
the king isn't as
panicked
adorable
because
as
I guess
the
like
queen.
I guess there's been like just this whole last several months, anything that England can involve the Queen in, they do it so they could slap like an R.I.P. Queen message in there somewhere.
Wasn't like I remember in a
kind of.
Sardonicast episode, like Alex went to see that A24 movie Bodies, 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 and he mentioned how they apparently had like a R.I.P. Queen before the movie started thing. They mentioned that in the
Yeah, like when I was still in England, like when she died, like every billboard had like R.I.P. the Queen. Even like the McDonald's order menu thing, it had like R.I.P. the Queen on it. It was like I couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere without seeing
It was
literally
annoying in
like,
Canada.
The
Yeah.
thing. Oh, not the thing. It was like you know, They Live. Oh, yeah, is it They Live where he puts on the glasses
Yes.
and he
yeah,
sees like,
that's the movie.
it was like that, but you're putting on glasses and like every billboard is saying like R.I.P. the Queen.
That's funny.
Like
Aether Muse, your hand's up. What's up?
Real quick, not trying to flex, but I'd like to show off my favorite Pokemon cards
Hell
that
yeah.
I've got.
oh yeah.
Hold them
This
closer. We
is-
can't see.
There are some secret rares in here.
Mhm.
There's Chien Pao EX, Raikou V, Skelligurge EX, and secret rare illustration for Gato.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah, those are
awesome.
just what I watched. I'm not trying to flex or anything, but there's 3 of them are secret rares, and I was like, oh my god, holy fucking shit. I'm not trying to flex again, I'm so sorry.
It's okay if you are trying to flex, though. There's nothing wrong with flexing.
Especially if you have
Yeah.
Pokemon cards.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to-
Why even have Pokemon
Everybody-
cards if you can't flex them?
Everybody has to show off something every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing a really crazy like foil thing on a Pokemon card. Do I have that saved somewhere?
What?
I'm looking for something right now. Don't worry about
As a
it.
wise man once said, meth is temporary, but Yu-Gi-Oh is forever. And Pokemon.
That's true.
Michael
That's
said that.
very fascinating.
Thanks, Charlie.
Sorry if I seem like a little distracted right now. I'm trying to my plan after the this hangout is I have some virtual screenings I can do for Fantasia, even though I'm not there yet but there's some I can access online, and I'm just trying to like make sure I send the correct requests over email before they like close for the day, because they're on Eastern time.
I had to attend to a baseball game in a bit, and like I had to leave in like at 6 o'clock because I'm in Eastern time and stuff. So in like around an hour and 10 minutes, I might have to leave this call depending on how long this goes. Just letting you know a heads up and all.
Of course,
That's all.
that's fine.
Yeah, I don't really stay the entire time, but just to letting you know. Also, I'm moving in August. Actually, I'm moving into a college dorm in August,
Oh,
so we're gonna
shit.
see how
Oh,
that
yeah.
goes. And
Congrats.
Gonna have a bunch of roomies.
Hey, no, I'm in a single room because I'm very awkward in real life, but it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna be learning I'm into taking a couple of like digital classes of like a directing class, editing class, a writing class, and then 3 other classes that I can't say the name of. So
Okay.
that'll be fun. And yeah,
Oh! Galarian Ponyta Rapidash.
This is what I saw.
Holy
That looks like a Snapchat filter or something.
I don't
Or-
believe
or-
it is. I think
or
it's
like,
a real Japanese holo thing.
Or like one of those videos where like you put like stickers, like animated stickers on them. That's
It
what I
reminds-
thought it was at first.
Hey Adam, if you don't mind me asking, what's your top 5 favorite Pokemon, or just your favorite?
Let's go
Master
Rapidash. Let's go Ponyta. Let's go Mudsdale. What are the other horse ones? The Zeb Strika.
Horse one.
What's
Sorry.
the fifth one?
What's that?
Which one?
I said Ponyta, Rapidash, Ponyta, Mudsdale. I said Zeb Strika. What's the fifth one?
I don't know what you're talking
What's
about.
what's another horse Pokemon?
Litzel.
Sure, that one.
It wasn't a Zeb Strike. Also, how
Horsemon.
called a horse one?
My favorite Pokemon is the glitch one. I forget the name of it. The one that like
Missing No?
Missing No, yeah, that's my favorite Pokemon. You know, minor spoilers for both Barbie and Oppenheimer, but Adam, did you like Barbie just because of the fact that it had horses in it?
That's the only reason I liked it. Yes.
Damn. You know, like nothing like crazy.
There was some
like,
horse
unique.
representation.
It wasn't like the greatest story of all time, but like a lot of like the jokes, like you can't even tell people about it unless they've seen it because like it kind of spoils the movie. Because it is
Yeah.
quite funny, Barbie.
It is the funniest movie I've seen all year. I'll say that much.
Is it intentionally funny or like on a like?
Yeah, it's intentionally
it's
funny.
it's
No,
intentionally
intentionally
funny.
funny.
Okay.
It's intentionally funny. I didn't mean like unintentionally funny. It also felt refresher seeing Barbie because I saw that movie Joyride, that like R-rated comedy with like a bunch of Asian leads, and it was all right, but the comedy didn't land for me all that much. Whereas Barbie, it was like most jokes did land for me, honestly.
I might see Barbie at some point. I just don't really know if I want to go in a theater with like a bunch of people in it.
I'm going through the potential screener requests for Fantasia, and it helps because there's some movies that were like conflicting at the same time in person, but I can just catch an online screener. So this is nice. Sorry, I'm a little distracted about this, but I have to send this before they close. So,
what movies are you excited for? Fantasia.
Obviously #manhole.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. Sympathy for the Devil, the Nick Cage one. That'll be fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw the trailer and I was like, because
it looks funny.
I know, but I don't get excited for Nick Cage movies. Like, I find like
I get excited for the right ones.
The joke. Yeah, but did you watch the one where it's like he's playing himself? That was like.
Yeah, and I knew that would be fucking like normie cringe, and I didn't watch it. And then people were mid on it.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, it was
just like no.
It was a soy movie for soy people, and I just avoided it. And then people were like, "I can't believe it was a soy movie." I'm like, "Yeah, you could tell from the trailer." So.
I watched. It was like 15 minutes. I got into it, and I was like, "No, too soy."
Wait, sorry, which movie is this?
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, it was like, okay, you have a gimmick. It doesn't look like it's directed well. And it looks like it's the most normie. Like it looks like something that's worse than like the fucking what was that? The Room movie where it's like, okay, if you're a
Disaster Artist.
Yeah, like that movie was fine. That movie was like a decent thing, but like the issues that I had with it were just half of it was like, oh hi Mark, and just saying the things that you're supposed to, just admire just for the reference or whatever.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the Nick Cage movie would just be like, "Oh, you love Nick Cage, right? Well, Nick Cage is playing himself." And it's like, I don't know if it has much more to offer than that. It looked really lame.
I saw the movie in theaters. It really I mean, Pedro Pascal was decent in the film because he's a good actor naturally, but the writing itself was so boring and uninteresting, and it was directed boringly. There was nothing interesting about it, but apart from maybe like the very end of the film, which is kind of fun, but most of the film was just like the most generic film you could have made based on the premise. Honestly, it went nowhere. It's a nothing movie. It's one of the most nothing movies you could have made based on the premise. Honestly,
yeah.
I play Pokemon Go, and this is my buddy, female Servine.
Nice.
I don't play Pokemon Go, but since I got into a Pikmin kind of run recently, I got Pikmin Bloom on my phone, and I've been playing that recently, and that's fun.
Really sad that Sprigatito and its evolution line aren't available in Pokemon Go yet. Like, what the fuck? I can't get Meowscarada or Florigato. Like, Scoot would like them. Scoot would be more upset. Meowscarada, and Florigato. The guys start in Scarlet and Violet.
All right, I've sent an email with some screener requests. There we go. And now hopefully they respond today, and then I can watch some things today because that would have been nice. I just assumed because there was supposed to be like an online thing that I could just access for press like without requests too. But I'm looking at my emails and I don't see anything. So now I'm like kind of concerned that I won't be able to do that today because that was my plan. That was my plan for the day.
You know, something I
Good.
thought about, like with the actor strike going on, do you think there's a chance that like at film festivals like TIFF and stuff, are they just studios just gonna pull out their movies because they can't have like world premieres and stuff with like the celebrities?
Sorry, what?
Well, here's-
Can you repeat that whole
Um,
question?
I said that like, do you think that like with the actor strike going on, do you think that studios are just gonna pull out of like film festivals like TIFF and stuff because they can't have like world premieres?
Yeah,
for, like, the actors? 'Cause
that's a
that-
good question. We'll see if it's
Well,
still
they
going
did-
in
well, there was a-
September.
Well, you know how there was the world premiere of Haunted Mansion from
Yeah,
Disney?
yeah.
Because
The
they weren't able to have like
mascots.
the actors there, they had to have like the mascots from Disneyland or something. And
hmm
everyone
Do they get to see the movie then? That's like my question. And they watch it in
well
costume.
I guess my question is, do they get to see the movie, but do they have to watch it in their costumes?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm wondering.
Do they
That
have
was
to
the way-
like
funny.
pretend to be the characters while the film is going on? That's my question.
I will say about the strike itself,
This
I
movie's
do
scary.
I do like how the people that are organizing the strike have made it clear that like they don't want people
Oh,
to
wait.
like they don't want people to boycott like the actual entertainment content itself. Just like new stuff that comes out from the studios that they are boycotting. So like most of the stuff that you can find on streaming is like pretty safe. I don't know the details about it. I'd have to look at their website. But
You
like,
could still do like movie reviews, I think, normally. I don't think
Yeah.
movie reviews are affected by the strike. I think what is affected is like if you're a member and you decide to cosplay at the strike, that's considered scab work. Or like if you're like a social media influencer, you make a post specifically to promote the film, that's considered scab work. But if you just do like movie reviews or like cosplay as a character, like if I don't know, if somebody wants to cosplay as like Spider-Man, you can do that.
I guess it depends like how integrated you are into the industry.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you
but
know.
but what I like about it though is that like they're trying to make the point that like the reason why these films are so successful and like big money makers is because of the writers and the actors. Like without them, these movies would not be able to make the money that they are. And so that's kind of their whole point about like if people were to boycott some of the content that's being released, then that would kind of that would kind of like go against like what their whole point is against these studios. It's only like certain content that you should be not watching. I don't know.
It's
entirely
like
what
yeah,
that is,
apparently
though.
like indie things are fine right now because they're not even
Yeah.
Like-
A24 is pretty based, honestly, for letting accepting all the terms that they wanted. I hope Neon does the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, A24. I remember them sticking out like that.
I really appreciate A24 for that kind of thing, where it seems like they have a lot more of the filmmakers' ideas in mind.
No.
I'm super interested in what Warner Brothers does, because isn't their CEO kind of like fumbling everything? He was
Yeah,
like,
the
there was like an
Discovery
article
CEO.
that came out. Yeah, he's like an article came out and they were like scathing review of his career being like the worst CEO in
Yeah.
history, which I don't know anything about that, but like it doesn't seem like he's
He just released The Flash, the biggest bomb in WB history, so he's got that on his record.
All of the Cade tickets are already sold out. Fuck.
Why didn't you? Why weren't you refreshing constantly like I was?
Studios behind Barbie.
Why aren't you like me?
Warner Bros is behind
Well,
Barbie.
I was refreshing like I was
waiting for
refreshing
it to
every
even give me the
fucking.
chance.
Sorry,
It didn't even like give me the chance.
is it one of the
Because it wasn't
Alamo?
letting me like. No, it wasn't Alamo. It was a Minnesota theater.
Hmm.
Fuck me.
Maybe you can
God.
get one secondhand. Maybe they'll release more tickets. You can always call the theater and be like, "Do you have any reserved for like sale at the door or something?" They might have like a rush line.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's some people that buy tickets and don't show up, and they just like let people fill the seats at the door. Usually, if they don't show up in the first like 5 minutes when the screening starts or whatever. But yeah, call the theater and ask. That might not be a bad idea. I was refreshing like. Do I even have that other fucking window? I don't even have it on. I have it on my Mac. I have like a whole Chrome window of a bunch of different tabs I was refreshing because I didn't know which city I would be in at which day, and all of these So I have like all these different theaters for different cities or whatever for Cade. Just potentially, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be in here when it's playing. I have my plane tickets booked for everywhere I'm gonna be, but the showings weren't released yet, and so I was kind of pissed. And then eventually the Vancouver showing gets announced at the Rio, and I'm going to be in Montreal for Fantasia Fest when that one's playing. And then the Montreal showing got posted. I'm going to be back in Vancouver when it's playing in Montreal. The Atlanta showing posted. I'm going to be in Vancouver when it's playing in Atlanta. So I'm making a pit stop in Toronto area after my Fantasia trip so I can catch it there on my way back. So I'm literally I changed my flight just to see Cade the Tortured Crossing in theaters. So because there was just I'm literally flying there to see the Cade show.
There's only 2 theaters in my state that are playing Cade the Torture Soap, but neither theater has posted showings for the film. I might call one of them honestly to see if they have it.
So if you look
I
at
can
like the
reserve
whole
tickets.
screening list, Olivia, maybe there's like, I don't know. The US has a lot of places where it's like just a 3-hour drive to another theater, you know, like depending on, I don't know. I don't know the geography of where you are exactly, but you could always look into that and see if there's anything worth a road trip. Because I would, you know, it's a great movie. I mean, it's going to be a great movie. It's Neil Breen theater experiences are very worth it. So
I don't own a car.
no car.
I wonder if there's any.
You
in New
can't.
York.
You can't.
I
Catch
would
a
have to
ride with
get my
somebody else?
dad to drive. I'd have to get my dad. to
Invite
drive
your
me.
dad to a Neil Breen film. You will not regret it. I'm not even kidding.
Unfortunately, I don't think he likes Neil Breen very much.
Well, call in some favors. What's up, Nico?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I just have a few questions I'd like to ask you. How do you know that the Oscars don't watch all the movies they nominate?
Because they've been because the Academy voters have been interviewed saying that. This is like verified in articles. There's like a Cartoon Brew article talking about how they don't watch the animated kids movies, and they're like, "Well, my daughter liked this one, and that's why they vote on." Like this is like documented, so that it's not just speculation.
All right. And I'm just curious why you don't like the website Letterbox.
Because I can't log TV shows there, and I don't want my thoughts on movies to be like a fucking popularity contest on this website. And it just seems way too much like a social media website and less like a blogging movies website. And it just seems like everybody's like trying to make the most cleverest quip or joke about a movie, and like there's all the ones at the top are like really insincere takes where no one's actually trying to be real about anything, and it's just like, okay, well, you just want attention. So
Karsten is a nice guy, but he ruined that site.
Yeah. Did he ruin it? He ruined it.
Well, I mean, he is the most followed person on there. And
That's
he's
very
the
funny.
person who's trying to be
Who's
like,
the most followed?
Karsten Rehnquist.
Karsten Rehnquist.
Oh,
but
okay.
he's also like extremely quippy. He has memes that work though, but then everybody else, they see that and they just want like a piece of that, and so you have thousands of people who aren't as good at memeing as Karsten is.
I got a super chat I got a super chat forever ago. I'm just going to read it. Corrence says, Saving Private Ryan is turning 25 on Monday.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen that.
I saw that in theaters a couple years ago. That was it was a really good experience.
I have the 4K of Saving Private Ryan. I also have a letterbox, but I only use it's not viral or anything, but I just use it to log in movies as kind of like a personal journal thing. So that's kind of, I like letterbox for that purpose, honestly. I don't care about like the viral shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think IMDb's better because like I could rate individual episodes. So like if I forget to watch a TV show, I can go back and be like, was I enjoying this? And then like, okay, I was. Okay.
Yeah, I wish IMDb would fix their fucking user interface though. That's my big thing.
That's the reason why I'm on Letterboxd.
Yeah. They make it not user friendly. It used to be so much better.
I think they have it in their design like brief that it has to be the worst thing ever. Because like I remember downloading Prime and I was like, oh, did I download the wrong thing? Because it was like
No.
so ugly back in the day.
No, yeah, they're just they're crazy. They're overconfident. You
And,
had
I
another
just
thing to
wanna
say,
say
Nico?
that- Oh, I just want to say that I read in a Bloomberg article that Bob Iger is going to sell part of Disney or all of Disney.
Oh, to what?
That's
To,
just
like, what do you mean by sell?
Like
Like sell his
Disney,
stocks or sell Disney to another company?
yeah, sell it to another company.
Maybe
I'm
he's
looking that
considering
one up.
selling like Marvel or Star Wars or something.
I read
Hopefully,
somewhere he's
No
considering.
20th Century
way.
Fox.
No, I read
Maybe.
somewhere he's considering selling
Disney
Hulu. He's
selling
Hulu?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
maybe
makes
like-
sense. 'Cause
maybe-
Hulu sucks.
Maybe Searchlight Pictures.
Hopefully the former Fox assets. I don't know too much.
That'd be
better
nice. I don't know
company.
why they would do
Yeah.
that though.
except Avatar. They would keep Avatar, but all the other assets. They
Oh
could
wait,
probably
they're
sell.
selling ABC and ESPN according to this first article. I
Oh,
just found. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Apparently
Yeah,
it's
why
damage
not?
control. I don't know. I don't know why I need to read this before I pretend to know what I'm talking about.
Apparently there's a new episode of Invincible out, and it's like a season 2 prequel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Season
apparently
2's
it got
coming out
released
November.
yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah,
So it's
prequel,
the
a season 2 prequel
the
episode.
The
Is it on YouTube
Barbenheimer
or is it on
Invincible.
Amazon?
On Amazon Prime, I would assume.
Oh, let me see. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen that new Superman show yet?
Oh yeah, My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the first 3. I don't know if the 4th episode is out yet. I haven't checked, but I've been liking it. It's pretty mild, but I've been liking it.
What services is on? Because I think like the first 4 episodes are like for free on AdultSwim.com or something.
They probably are, but I've been watching it through Max.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna let's see. Maybe Fantasia has like a box office I can call or something.
You are right, Adam. There is this prequel episode on Amazon Prime right now
Yeah.
about for Invincible.
I don't. Maybe I'll
I
wait
think
until
season
season 2 comes out before I watch it. I don't know.
Season 2 comes out in November, so you got that on your checklist.
Yeah.
November. Jeez.
But like, hopefully it means that like they get paid properly, the animators and stuff like that, because I think the studio is unionized, thankfully.
Mhm.
So maybe it's just a case of like good working conditions is why they took so long and stuff.
I think
Because I hope the show-
I'm gonna take like a tiny break. I think I need to just make a phone call to them because I don't know if they're gonna answer their email in time, and I need to
Alright.
have this before later today. So
Cool.
I'll be right back.
that's cool.
Sorry about that.
Fine.
Are the animators or like the special effects like people also joining the strikes? Because I feel like they should 100%.
They're in
do
different.
that.
They're in
I think
different
so.
unions. Well, they could support the union strikes, but they're not on strike themselves because I think the animators union contract expires next year. I think so. So we'll have to see how far that goes. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on strike next year when their contract expires. That's how I see it, honestly.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, I don't know much about like how badly the writers or actors are treated by the studios, but I know it 100% like that's like they treat like the animators
number
and the
didn't work.
special effects features like complete crap. So
What did
I
you
feel
get?
like
Did
I
you
feel
get
like
to
they
a
also
voicemail box?
have every
Nah,
right
it just
to
didn't work.
get a
But
stake.
so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do their press email.
Olivia, I've just always fucking loved that guy Eldron.
What guy L drawing?
The Vor one.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. Like the one that was used in the brownie incident retelling.
RIP that restaurant.
Oh, did it go under?
Yeah, because the joke
Yeah,
is like Gael put it
because of the
under.
brownie incident. Yeah,
Oh shit. Oh, okay, yeah.
Gael
Because
is responsible.
It
for
actually did go under though. That's not a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was gonna say it sucks. They shouldn't have let all the bad brains in.
The
Is Uwe Ball like trying to get back his restaurant now, or is it still dead?
I don't know.
I
All right,
remember
I
he-
sent
I remember-
another
I remember
email.
his-
Hopefully they get back to me. Sorry, I've been distracted.
Yeah, because it's fine. Because I remember you saying that his restaurant closed because of COVID, but like,
No, it's because the landlords didn't renew the lease.
okay, but it happened around COVID though. But it's
Yeah,
not like
so I
that
don't know if it was COVID, but
Did they sell it to become another restaurant, or is it like
no. Let's see. What was his restaurant called again? Bauhaus. Yeah.
Bauhaus.
Let's see.
Sorry to interrupt.
Is it?
Does
If it's
anyone
coming
know
back?
Does anyone know how to refresh the profile picture on Zoom? Because it keeps. I'm trying to change it and it keeps showing up as Aether
No
Moose.
idea.
You can exit out. I don't know how to, but if you want to, best thing to do is maybe exit out of the call and then come back in.
Okay, I'll try that. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
I always change my profile picture. Like it used to be Kirk from Hoodwink, but I got bored with that. So now I'm just every picture on Hangout. I'm just gonna change it. Today I chose sad face Harrison Ford from Temple of Doom as my profile picture because I just changed it out of whim after seeing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny because it was just too funny of an idea.
I change mine every few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
You know,
there's no updates about Uwe Boll and his whatever he's doing. It'd be nice to have another restaurant. It was good. I went there. I took a picture with him.
What kind of cuisine was it? What food?
It was like upscale, like German inspired, but like.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did they do currywurst or?
I don't remember. It was like small plate kind of bougie shit.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna mention this earlier, but like I don't really know if I ever want to go to a movie theater with like a huge crowd anymore because I just don't really know if like any of them are going to be like respectful or if like them being there would ruin my experience like it did with the Mario movie. So that's why I ended up seeing Spider-Verse like at 9:30 at night because it was convenient and plus like I could probably be like in a nearly empty theater.
I thought that night screenings were more likely to have. Depends on the day of the week, I guess. I usually, if I want to have a movie with nobody in it, I go like weekday at like noon.
Yeah.
I try to do early in the morning. Like
If I want a
really
movie
earliest.
with nobody in it, I'd watch the
Probably just
Fantastic
depends on the
Beast
city
movies.
I
But
went to.
also like I saw Spider-Verse like pretty recently, so it probably was like around the time when everyone else has already seen it. So like there were a couple people in my theater,
I
but
can't.
like, it wasn't filled or anything.
I can't go to like cheap movie theaters in like New York City, like ones where it's like the tickets are really cheap. Because like there's always like one person that just lights up a cigarette and then they get away with it. I don't know how.
Oh boy.
Where?
New York. Like New
Really?
York City.
Like in a movie?
Yeah, like that's why people are always like, why do you always go to like really expensive ones? And I'm like, because the guy who lights the cigarette is not gonna pay like $40 for a ticket.
That's pretty funny.
It is funny. It's happened
theater-
enough where I'm like, this is not like a one-off.
Wow.
Yeah. My theater does discount Tuesdays, where every Tuesday you go to the theater and it's like $5 a ticket. So that's how I saw Joyride at Discount Tuesday, just because it was like, might as well go when the tickets are cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what's sad is that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So because like I'm kind of interested in seeing Barbie now, but I'm just kind of worried that like it'll be like a Minions situation where everybody's kind of just being really hyped for no reason. Or something like that. Like that's my biggest fear with going to theaters that are like super crowded now.
My Barbie audience was fine.
I can't nearly imagine like a Barbie audience having the same kind of energy as a Minions audience. So I personally wouldn't worry about that.
Everyone in my theater was respectful, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm referring to, right? Like the whole thing with like the people going to Minions movies with like super dressed up suit and stuff.
Everyone who was in my theater was like dressed in pink except me, honestly. I just went normally.
There were like
but the difference
there was
is
like a
there's
group of
quality
like
to the Barbie
5,
movie.
maybe like 18-year-olds or something that were like going to Oppenheimer and they were dressed in like suits or something. And then there was one guy dressed as Spider-Man who went to both Oppenheimer and Barbie. And then everyone in Barbie was like in
the
pink.
most based person.
Yeah, somebody just showed up dressed as Spider-Man and went to both movies.
Were they in your screening?
They must have been because I saw them outside the theater like both times. So
at my AMC near me, they were playing all the staff were wearing Barbenheimer shirts where it's like the split in the middle, like Barbie, then Oppenheimer. And I was like, wait, is that real merch? Or I thought that was like bootleg stuff, but the theater staff were all wearing Barbenheimer. I was like, that's cool.
I wonder if anybody has made a costume that just looks like a nuke and has worn it to Oppenheimer.
Probably. You want to be careful of wearing costumes that make you taller when you're going to a thing where people are sitting behind you. Which apparently people at the Oscars don't even figure out.
Okay.
You just feel bad.
They could be little boy. They don't have to be fat man.
People at the Oscars dress like they're in the Hunger Games, like unironically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were gonna I thought you were gonna say like it's probably not a good idea to dress up as a bomb in a movie theater.
If it's not
If it's
like all
Oppenheimer.
that realistic, you could get away with it.
As long as you don't dress up like you have a bomb strapped to you, I think it's fine.
What if you have a bomb?
People gonna go see Four Lions.
But then everybody is gonna like chastise you not for that. They're gonna be like, dude, that's not the right type of bomb. Get out of here.
Someone should go and see Sound of Freedom dressed up as a QAnon nut job or something.
You know what's funny?
Dress up as Jesus.
On Twitter, all the Sound of Freedom people that actually went to see it, they were complaining about the aircon not being on, and I thought that was like crazy. And then like yesterday when watching Oppenheimer at an AMC, the aircon wasn't on, and I was like sweating bullets watching this movie.
Yeah,
in 3 hours.
There's things that
is this
happen
all
that
the
inconvenience
AMCs?
people all the time, but it's not a conspiracy. Like,
It's
and
not,
you know
no,
what
no, no.
though?
Well, it's not.
Here's my almost conspiracy theory. If there is a higher proportion of incidents like that happening at AMC theaters only for the Sound of Freedom, it's because they realized that people would post on Twitter and promote the movie if they did that. It's because it's if that is happening to a higher degree, it's because the company saw that they were getting free promotion every time they did it. And it's like, oh, you have to see this movie. They're trying to make you not see the movie. It's like, oh, okay, well, if every time we do this, you're going to get somebody saying we got to see the movie.
Did the government conspire against me being able to see Barbenheimer?
Yes.
Because that was really weird that the only film reel that they had was one with descriptive audio.
That's so funny.
Olivia, you missed the opportunity to see Oppenheimer because you could have gone with the name Olivia Heimer.
I tried to go to see Oppenheimer, but I sat down and then a fucking robot woman voice is like, Oppenheimer turns around, his crystal blue eyes. And it's like, oh my God. And then I had to go to the fucking box office and I'm like, I think I accidentally bought tickets for like a screening for like blind people or something. And they're like, that's not supposed to be on.
I would love to see, like, I guess like in the explosion scene, see if like the descriptive audio has to shout over it, like, and now the bomb, because that movie was like so loud.
I have an answer for you, because the descriptive audio, the movie was so loud that when they did like the transitions with the explosions, you couldn't hear the descriptive audio anymore.
That's great.
Yes,
that's great that they don't even have proper
out.
mixing for that in a Nolan movie. Like
Yeah,
he went and saw the descriptive audio track and he's like, no, the music needs to be louder.
What did you think of the audio?
Maybe that's part of the experience because like the blast is so loud that like not even the descriptive audio can be heard. So like even blind people can feel like how big the explosion is.
What did you think of the? Because like, did you think it was too loud, or do you think it was like effective?
I mean, I didn't have the usual problem with the past few Christopher Nolan movies where I couldn't understand what was being said, I guess. So that was nice. But too loud is kind of like a subjective thing because it depends on how loud your theater plays it also.
True.
So it really, like, they can change the volume.
Yeah.
There's a maximum in that, like...
I did like. I mean, I don't know what yours was like, obviously, like, but like mine was. It was like really, really loud, like kind of like being at a concert during those. Scenes.
It wasn't overbearingly loud, like I was at a concert. I didn't feel like I needed earplugs.
I did. I was like,
That sucks.
if I plug my ears in, will I look rude? I'm like, why do I care? And I was like, now and again, I'd just be
Yeah,
like,
I
okay,
think
this
that's
is
the
going on for a
theater's
while.
fault.
Because I've got tinnitus, so I have to be kind of
Yeah.
like conscious of all that shit. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
go deaf. But
Do you have it in both ears?
yes,
That sucks.
but yeah, it gets better. It's like you know, I'm thinking of ending things when she describes
You
it
get
as like
used
a
to it.
hissing sound. No, when she describes it as a hissing sound, I was like, thank you, because like no one, because everyone would always tell me I don't have it because I was like, no, it's like a hissing, and I'm like, oh, it's actually supposed to be a ringing, and I'm like, no, I can hear it at all times. I think I know what I've got.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, right. But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
How do you put a GIF as your profile pic, by the way, and not just like a still image? Because I'm trying to put this GIF. As...
I have been using OBS virtual camera and treating it like a webcam on Zoom.
That makes
That is
sense.
how I've been like playing videos like this.
That's great.
Like this is just a VLC file.
Damn it.
You know, okay, so I also want to bring this up as well. So obviously the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer has been out for a while, and when I first watched the trailer, the first thing I could think of was like, I really wish, or I really hope that like this movie does not use any like CGI or like computer graphics for like the animatronic movements, because that would like really be a bummer. Because like
Which
I feel
movie?
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
No,
no, I think they will.
I mean,
I think the trailer showed it.
The trailer showed things that definitely looked kind of CG.
Yeah, because like I couldn't tell if like they were actually in a set that was like built to like be the pizza place, or if they were just in front of a green screen. Because it really felt like there was a bunch of spots that were like obviously in a green screen.
Also,
and then like all the movements of like the animatronics feel very fake, and
yes.
I'm just really hoping that they don't like just cheap out. I don't know if it's cheaping out, but like I just like the movie would be a lot better to me, even if it's not a great film. I would at least appreciate it if it did everything practical, because I feel like that's one of the biggest things that, because like they're very much making a movie that's in a contained space. So I don't understand like why they couldn't just. I mean, again, I don't know if this is what they're actually doing, but like it seems like there's no reason why you can't like have people in costumes moving in a practical sense, and instead you have to like use CGI for like the animatronics moving. Like I think if they actually did that,
they apparently
it would
made
make the movie so much
costumes,
worse.
but it looks like even if they did, they just CG'd over top of it. You know how like the Spider-Man Homecoming, it's like, oh, it just the whole thing looks CG. It's like, well, they had a costume on set, they just like put CG over top.
Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping that isn't the case, because I think that's just so lame. Like I really don't care if the movie's good or anything like that, or if like the writing's terrible. It's just that's the one thing that I really wish they would do right. Like it's just do more practical stuff, because it doesn't look terrible when you do practical stuff. I mean, even like like I said earlier, some of the most like mid type of practical effects still look much better and like a lot more realistic than most of what CGI looks like. So I just don't understand this huge like abundance of CGI in some of these movies, because it doesn't need
make
it.
sense.
Yeah,
it makes it look
like,
worse. You're spending more money to make it look worse.
Yeah, like I watched The Thing the other day, and even though like I can tell the first one,
okay,
the first one, yeah, like even though I can tell that a lot of it is fake, the fact that like they go out of their way to just make everything practical. I mean, probably
it has a presence. It has a presence in the environment. The actors are there with it.
Yeah, like it just feels so much better, and it's like I actually feel the emotions that are going through the characters, like especially in the I don't know if I really want to spoil anything from the movie, but like the first scene where the Thing shows up, like that's a very powerful scene, and if they had just like done CGI with there, I don't think it would have worked as well. And now these days, like even some of the low budget films, like the like the I don't know what the budget is for Five Nights at Freddy's, but like because it's Blumhouse, I assume it's low budget. But like why do CGI for those movies? I don't get it. Like
It's dumb.
Yeah.
I think CG is still cheaper, right?
Yeah,
I don't know
actually,
at this point.
I think
you
it's
know
like
what I think of?
30 million or something. I don't know.
You know what I think
Might
it
be
might
lower.
actually be? So, this actually kind of like gets me a theory. There's visual effects artists are like the only part of the film industry that isn't unionized. So I
Exactly.
think they want to
Well,
like
Ripley
be
was
able,
lying on me for a second there. My cat.
because I think there was a thing about that Marvel show that no one's watching, Secret Invasion. Like there was like a screenshot that was posted where like they apparently like had Nick Fury, aka Samuel L. Jackson, in a chair, but they had the entire thing in a green screen set just because they were able to overwork the artists instead of like paying actual like set designers, because that part is like unionized stuff. So I think it's just the fact that visual effects artists is one of the only parts of the industry that isn't unionized. That's why they're continuing using CG more often than practical sets, at least in a big production sense.
So if the I forget what to call them now. If the visual effects people like start to unionize, will that mean that we'll have like better movies in the future? Like we will have to like have so
I
much
hope so.
I don't know.
abundance on those? Because
It
like
means they'll
I
get
don't
paid
think,
better.
yeah, because like I don't think visual effects have like I think they have their place in film. No, don't get me wrong, but like they're just being used so inappropriately in a lot of movies these days that it just kind of like I would trust a lot more of like indie films to be more practical with their effects than any of the major studios.
It would be cool to see more people like doing what like David Fincher does, where like you don't even know he's using a lot of CGI. Like
Yeah.
you know, I think like when people think of like like the special effects like CGI stuff, they're thinking of like the really obvious like loud stuff like Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, like and it just depends on how they're being used, I guess. But
yeah,
in a movie like Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't think it does anything to help the film at all. Like I would have very even that one what was it called, the Banana Splits movie that was like kind of the similar thing.
Oh yeah, that film.
Like even though that movie's not great and probably like really obnoxious to watch, the fact that they still had like actors in the costumes and like all of the effects were like very practical, like I think that's one of the better parts of that movie. And I'm just afraid that that's not going to be the case for the Five Nights at Freddy's film. Because I think it's very important for movies like that to really be as practical as possible, because like why else would you do it? Like it's in a contained space, and you probably have not a ton of I forgot, I lost my train of thought. I apologize.
That's okay.
No, you're good.
I was gonna show. Sorry.
I think you guys get what I'm saying, though, right?
I do.
Yeah, like why not use animatronics for animatronics?
Well, not even actual animatronics, but like just people in costumes would be fine. Like, like who is the one that said like, the cocaine bear should have been in a bear costume?
Me.
I think that was Adam, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Who said it?
It was me who said it. I am the one who says.
Yeah.
I forgot about Cocaine Bear. I completely forgot about that film until you mentioned it.
Have you ever seen like Canadian weed products? Because I bought some, and they're like kind of interesting how limited the packaging needs to be. It's kind of like there's a very strict regulations, like you can't make it look cool. It has to just have warnings and stuff on it. So it's all just, but like
you gotta.
It's like the first step of legalization is like they had to do all these things. Just maybe they kind of they wanted to make sure it passed. So they're like, oh yes, we will make sure that it doesn't look appealing to children, even though children can't legally buy it.
I think it makes sense at least.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in the same way that we should be doing the exact same thing with alcohol and fast food. It makes sense, but there's a clear bias here is my issue.
Yeah. New York, like a lot of like the weed products, they got like I don't know if they're like even like legal, but like a lot of like weed stores will sell them, and like like I've seen a lot with like Simpsons drawings on them, like and there's one called Sleepy Biden, and it's like a picture of Joe Biden like smoking weed, and I'm like, okay.
I saw on Reddit the other day, or like a couple of weeks ago, that there's like an entire Trump themed burger shop in Texas. and it was the most
Yes.
insane thing I've ever seen. And
We should all go.
Yeah.
I physically passed by that place.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I think my favorite thing I saw for the video that I saw for that burger place was they had something called like the Biden burger, which they literally say like we put like the oldest tomatoes in the back, like some of the moldy cheese, and it's like $50. Yeah, like the whole idea was like to say, oh yeah, Biden is like causing a bunch of inflation, so we're gonna heavily inflate the prices of this burger.
That's
just
so
because
I
like
hate when I
yeah.
hear that. I think America has a pretty good economy. I hate when I hear this. Like, it's way better
Yeah.
than like where I'm from. Like the UK has like the worst. Like,
It's
yeah.
almost like inflation is not specific to countries or to one country, and it's like a global thing. Like, come on.
Yeah.
90% of inflation that happens is like just the companies basically just being like, oh, we hate something, and so we're gonna raise the prices up to punish people and stuff. That's honestly what I think it's mostly, because I think there's a thing where like every time there's like a Democratic president like Obama and now Biden, it's like inflation's always a problem. But then when Trump is president, it's like it's not a problem. So I think it's just the fact that like a lot of companies, especially like gas companies, are just in the pockets of Republican politicians, honestly.
I also just think it's part of it is also just because like a lot of people in America just have a very surface level view of politics in general. Because like they like I don't think many people that are like blaming Biden for like inflation really understand like what specifically did Biden do to cause inflation, because they really don't know. They just see somebody in charge and they'll be like, oh, it's his fault, and then like completely forget that, or somehow like either completely forget or do not understand that like part of the reason why we have so much inflation right now is because we just had a pandemic. Like, do you not remember the fact that we had to like close out down a bunch of stores and restaurants and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
did everybody just completely forget about that? That's what I don't understand.
Every time someone in America asks me about my political beliefs, I dodge it by going, I'm from England. I have my own political beliefs. I'm Lib Dem.
I'm
it's
not
like
in
a
your
different
bubble.
Dem. Yeah, I have to dodge it because I bit the bullet once and I went, I don't know, like I'm not like I don't even know if I'm conservative or Democrat like in America, and then like going down this and I went, so you don't like Trump? And then like I'm just like it just went down.
You
this,
met
like,
those people
rabbit
in New
hole.
York?
Yeah, they exist.
I knew they
It
existed,
was
but
just
you think that
it
they're
was
like
like in a smoke shop. It was like, you're gonna vote for. He was like my age, and he was like, you're gonna vote for Trump, and I was like, I can't
vote.
vote yet. And then he's like, he's like, but would you like to vote for Trump? And I'm like, and then that's when I was like, I have my own political beliefs, like back home. And then I just like got out of there because it's like I feel like
no,
this guy's
that's
gonna
when you
get
just got to give like a
angry.
crazy joke answer. Just be like, actually, Trump's still president. Like, he's controlling Biden right now, so we don't need to vote for him because he's got it covered.
What is
So
Trump
all the inflation is Trump's fault, you mean?
Yes.
I'm scared to make jokes like that because I feel like I'm basing this on Twitter. Like when you make jokes like that, they actually believe it. Like feels.
Oh yeah,
their,
I would
like,
just
delusion.
love to
Yeah.
have that conversation with someone.
Speaking of inflation, this is not from DeviantArt. This is from a real game Scott Cawthon made.
Oh, what?
he knows his audience, I guess.
That looks like in Wario Land 3 when Wario eats like a donut and becomes really fat. Y'all know that game? Wario Land 3?
Which one? Which Wario?
Wario Land 3. The one where
No.
like
Was that GameCube?
No, it was Game Boy Color.
Oh.
It's one of the power-ups where like he eats a donut and then it, like becomes really big, and then he can jump and like break blocks.
I think I only had Pokemon on the Game Boy.
My dad had a Game Boy, but he only played Tetris and nothing else.
I'm getting this.
Dads be like that. Every dad like has like a computer and it's just an overpriced Tetris and like Candy Crush machine.
My mom loves Candy. My mom like fucking loves Candy Crush. She still plays it to this day, and it's kind of concerning to be honest. So.
They'll be on levels like. Have you ever looked at what level they're on? They'll always be on like.
No, I don't. I don't pay
million.
attention to stuff. I just like.
You have to
like,
look. Next time, look. It'll be like level 100, like 100 million.
I'll have
they
to
love
see.
it.
Yeah, of
You
course
know,
they love it. They
I
love
can
Candy.
remember a time when mobile gaming was actually kind of decent, but that was like when the iPhone like first came out. Does anybody remember Jelly Car?
Yes.
Vaguely.
Yeah, like there were some pretty good like games on mobile like many years ago, but like I think the quality has just gone down really far, and like you kind of forget like there are some pretty classic games on
Most of it is.
iPhone, but
It reminds me of like the Wii and DS era where there was just a crap ton of shovelware, but all those developers that did the shovelware shit just went to mobile stuff, and because they saw that's where the money is, let's go there, and that's basically how mobile game became the way it is now.
yeah, I think what actually happened might have been that like, you know, gaming on mobile like was originally like for games, but then I think like games like Candy Crush came in and they basically said, oh, we can like put microtransactions in these games and we can like limit how many tries people can like play the game because then if they want to try it
Oh
again,
God,
then they'll
what the fuck, Olivia?
It's a
What?
kids movie. It's a
It's from a
straw.
kids movie.
It's a straw, and it's connected to
Which movie is this?
not the
Surf's
private
Up
part.
2.
It's connected
Oh,
to
Surf's
its
Up.
belly or something, maybe.
It's from Surf's Up 2.
Yeah.
This is
It's Vince McMahon sucking a
an
fish.
Yeah, this is a Vince McMahon otter Sona who says, I like milk and I like fish because I'm an otter and otters like fish. If only I could milk a fish. And then
that's the image, yeah. So they knew what they were doing, though, clearly, right? Like there's no they were just seeing what they could get away with.
I tried to upload this as a 7TV emote and it got rejected.
Nice.
I wonder why.
7TV was like, this is too sexual.
Yeah.
But the people who made this movie are like, yeah, put it in.
Yeah, let kids see it.
And
It's PG.
Yeah.
So anyway, just to finish my thought, like I think games like Candy Crush were really the ones that kind of made mobile gaming like super terrible after a while because I think they were like one of the first ones to like put that model of like microtransactions within mobile gaming, and then everybody else copied it, and then we're at this point now.
Or like putting real games on mobile, but then charge it. You had to like pay to not get ads on those games because I think they put like a bunch of the classic Sonic games on mobile that are for free, but then you had to pay like a certain fee in order to get no ads or something like that. It's really annoying.
My least favorite thing for mobile gaming is like when they'll advertise. Like I played some of the Ace Attorney games on mobile because the 6th and 7th and 8th game were not, or no, sorry, it was the 4th, 5th, and 6th game.
But they're coming to
Apollo Legend didn't. It's like only not Apollo Legend. That's that guy.
Well, either way,
Apollo
like
Justice.
Yeah, either way, like that was the only way I was going to be able to play the game and like support the company is just to buy it on iPhone. So I did that, and it's like 9 cents or 99 cents. I was like, oh, cool, I'll just get the whole game that way. I play it. I play the first episode, and then at the very end, it says buy the rest of the episodes for like $4.99, and I'm just like, okay, so why did tell me that it was like $1 in the App Store, and then like they quickly say, oh no, actually here's the full price of the game for all the other
That's
episodes.
gross.
It's like it's gross. I mean,
Nintendo did the same thing with Mario Run, where you could download Mario Run for free, but then they're like, "Oh, you want to play the lesser levels? Just pay $10."
Like I still played through all 3 of those games because I was going to anyway. But I was just a little annoyed that like it was kind of, I don't know, is the word manipulative, misleading? Yeah, I think it's just misleading the way that they did that. Like I would have been completely fine if they just said like, yeah, pay $12 up front so that you can play all the other episodes. And you know, maybe they did it the way they did because like maybe they just wanted to give somebody like a free trial or not a free trial, but like they just had you like pay $1 for the first episode, and then if you're like the rest of the game, then you can buy the rest. But still, like it was like really obnoxious when companies do that, where it's like, yeah, here's the full game for $1. Oops, you're already past the first chapter. Now you have to pay for the rest.
Oops.
Yeah, I definitely could have emulated the game, but I just was not interested in doing that, so I just did it on the phone. And
at the very least, they're putting 4, 5, and 6 of Ace Attorney next year on like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and shit. So at least you
Yeah,
got
I'm
that to
gonna
look
play
for.
that. I've been streaming the original trilogy.
Nice. But yeah, I definitely
On my
like
kick.
aside from that issue, I definitely did enjoy playing through those games, even if it was just on mobile. But like that pricing thing was just really stupid.
Mhm.
I also could have bought Ghost Trick on iOS, but I ended up emulating that one.
Ghost
And
Trick
then
just got released on Switch and Steam
Yeah,
recently, so
yeah,
you can play Ghost Trick now.
yeah, they literally announced that remake, or I guess port, like a couple days after I finished my playthrough on emulator. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, that's a pretty good game. I would highly recommend it.
I'm currently going through Pikmin 4, so once I'm done with that, I might go to the Ghost Trick next. So we'll see how that goes.
You know, that honestly might be a game that I'd recommend Adam check out at some point. Maybe
Mhm.
definitely not in like the next couple of months or something like that, because it is a pretty long game. It's like speed runs are like 4 hours or something like that. But yeah, it's really good. And if you play it and then enjoy it, then I would definitely recommend checking out the Ace Attorney series if you can.
You know, Adam, I always thought of something. Has there ever been like a licensed like video game that you've been wanting to stream anytime soon as like a joke?
A licensed video game? What do you mean?
Yeah, like something based on like a movie or a TV show. You know?
Oh
like,
yeah,
movie
there's
tie-in
tons.
or-
Yeah, there's tons. I bought like the Barnyard video game. I bought Sopranos PS2. I have the
Reservoir
Nightmare
Dogs?
Before Christmas on Xbox. There's a bunch of them. I just gotta like. Maybe I'll start them in August. Maybe one of them, like the Barnyard one. Just remind me, and I'll.
maybe for
Because I just have to
Halloween
set
do
it up on
Nightmare
my like PS3 or whatever.
What about the original Spider-Man 2 for PS2?
I'll consider it.
A
I
lot of people
forget.
like that one.
Yeah,
A lot of people
I
like that
remember
one.
enjoying playing that when I was younger, but I don't.
Yeah,
I would play it like. Apparently, some of the Amazing Spider-Man games are like kind of funny now, but they're hard to get. They're hard to find.
Yeah, at your time and Shattered Dimensions are pretty expensive, I think.
Yeah. I'm just gotta
Maybe
finish
for,
typing
October
up
you
this
should do-
screener request here. I will be not as distracted soon. Hold on.
I played a lot of the Madagascar video game when I was a kid.
I had that too on the PS2.
I played a bit of that.
I had
Did
this
anyone?
Oh,
So I was gonna say, did anyone play Shark Tale the video game?
no.
I remember
God,
playing it as a
no.
kid, but I had no idea what was
It
going
was
on.
the most difficult video game in the world because it was like quintessential that you needed the dance mat to get
Oh
like
my
past
God,
certain
no,
levels.
those.
And because I didn't have the dance mat, I was like trying to like beat certain levels with the controller, and it took. And I had my younger brother, my dad, and my older brother try and get past this level just using the controller to do the dance bits, and we couldn't. And it was like kind of like in a way soft locked, and we couldn't get past a certain level because you need the dance mat to like be as fast enough. But
there's a lot of like early like movie tie-in games like that just had like really terrible
too
like
difficult.
rhythm games.
They don't play
Yeah.
it. The people that make it don't play it, and then they don't
Yeah.
realize how difficult it is.
Well,
I
that's
had
just
a
I remember replaying one of my first games on the PS2, the Polar Express, and I had completely forgotten that like in the area of the movie or in the game, I guess, where they're trying to like get the train to like start up after the train stopped because of like the caribou or something. They in the game itself, they were like, "Hey, in order to get this car to start running again, we gotta like do a dance mini game," and like it's like some of the most like
It was like really popular at one point, the rhythm dance thing.
Yeah.
You know,
DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, that was popular when back in the day, and especially in like arcades and stuff.
that was like the only good thing with the Kinect, like the dancing games. It was
Like
like
Just
the only-
Dance and stuff.
Yeah,
That's the only games that get made out of the Kinect now. It's just Dance and shit like that. I
they're
remember
good. I think they're quite good. Unlike
they're decent.
I had Sonic Free Riders for the Kinect when I still had the Kinect, and I remember returning it immediately the day I got it. I think.
Yeah.
The only Kinect game that I played, and I actually think is a pretty good game was the Gunstringer. If anybody knows what that is.
Yeah, I have that and I haven't played it yet. I was thinking of doing
that's
that at
probably,
some point.
That seems to be one of the only like really good Kinect games, and
Yeah.
actually one that like uses the technology pretty well.
I
Yeah.
love that Kinect would get like ex-military guys to advertise like the first-person shooters, and they'd like do the whole like
You can shout at your squad.
get down.
I forget what game it is, but I know there was a game on Kinect that very
Steel
much
Battalion?
like well, no, it's a war game. Like it's a game where you can control like a tank or something.
It's Steel Battalion Heavy Armor. That's the one.
Yeah.
It was actually made by I want people to guess who the developer of that game is, because nobody's gonna guess who it is, because I know the developer on the top.
EB Games.
From Software.
Yep, it's from Soft. The same. It came out
That's crazy.
a year after Dark Souls. It was the game they released immediately after Dark
That's
Souls
insane.
and stuff.
I gotta pee
But
really
yeah,
bad. I'll be
thing-
right back. Hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing about that game is that I can very much see that it's like a very early like VR game, but it was like way too ahead of its time, if that makes sense. Because like I feel like a game like that would work a lot better if it was an actual VR game. Instead it's like a Kinect video game where you have to play it in like a third person perspective. And it kind of made me think like, is this do the people developing games for the Kinect just not know what it can do? Because I think
it was like when I think what probably happened. I don't know anything. Like I don't have any insider knowledge.
well,
but what I think probably happened was the same thing with when 3D movies like 3D became a thing, and then they were like, well, okay, like I know the movie's made, but we have to make it 3D, and they're like, okay, fuck. So I think that's probably what happened with like Kinect games. It was like, okay, I know the game's done, but we have to make it for Kinect now.
Okay.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like the games that were specifically for the Kinect, I feel like they were developed and intended to be basically what VR games are now. And nobody that made Kinect kind of understood the actual limitations for it. Because like there's like that one horror game that kind of is the same thing too, where it's like you use your body to like move the character through like these areas, but it's really clunky and the perspective is like not great, and it just seems like it would work a lot better if it was a VR game rather than a Kinect game. Because
I really want to be a Kinect game that's like in the same quality and scope as a Rockstar like GTA Red Dead. I know Red Dead has an unofficial VR, but I would love like an official like game that's like VR only and is like that like open world and free scope, like free to do whatever you want.
Rockstar did LA Noire in VR.
Yeah, like the
okay.
I don't understand why they did that.
When you said Rockstar, I thought Rock Band for some reason. Like
no.
Like something like a rhythm game or something.
LA Noire.
Yeah, I know they did LA Noire, but it's like who. I hate that game. Like
you fuck young boys, Valdez.
Are you a madman?
Yeah, I don't think the Kinect was terrible. I think people just didn't really know what to do with it, or like there were some developers that were like really ambitious about the technology. I feel like
it happens like every 10 years. Like the gaming industry will be like, we have this new technology and it's going to change everything, and then they go back to the controller, like, you know.
My mom saw like an ad for a Minnesota Science Museum thing about like the history of video games and like upcoming futuristic game tech that's not out yet. It's like, wow, and we went there and the most advanced thing they had was the Kinect.
Does anybody remember that one video? It's like a really old one that was like it showcased like a bunch of fake like upcoming releases for like consoles. Like they had like the Xbox 720, the Wii phone. Does anybody know that video?
I think I know what you're referring to.
This is a YouTube, like old YouTube video?
Yeah.
That's like it's like Wii phone,
Xbox.
Wasn't it like PlayStation Xbox?
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick and I'll post it.
That video is amazing, and that video is like such a like it just puts me back into high school. Like I'm just remembering things I had not thought about.
Time capsule.
Yeah, like it's like in Ratatouille where he eats the food and then he goes back to his childhood.
So
Playground rumors were great.
The title says Future Gen Consoles, spelled CONSELS, Wii 2, PS4, Xbox 720.
They didn't
I'll-
even
I'll-
call it the Wii 2. They called it the Wii U.
Yeah, I just posted in chat.
The
It's
Wii U,
Wii
which
U.
is just
Wii U, Wii
beta
U, Wii
Switch.
U.
also the Bodies Hit the Floor song is like just icing on the cake.
That was in like every video, and so was
Let the
um
bodies
so was the song from Requiem for a Dream. Do you remember
Oh
that?
my god, yeah.
Like every video, it would be like trailer for Transformers 7 trailer, and then like you click it, and it's like dun, dun, dun. And it's just still images of like fan art or something.
That I liked that song so much when I was a teenager.
I hate it now. I feel like those
ah.
videos ruined it. It made it like Rickroll for me. Like
That
I
I
can't
ju-
hear it without thinking of like pain. Like because
Because
I'd
I
be like,
heard
yeah, go on, sorry.
because I heard the song, I watched the movie. And it's like, this is interesting because it was like the first like kind of depressing film I watched.
Hello, sorry about that.
And if you get a chance, check out the chat. I posted a video that's like really old that showcases like a bunch of fake upcoming gen consoles. That's really funny.
I will open that in a second. I just forgot one more thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Steven.
it's okay if I mention something before Adam gets back. I want to tell you guys about this
My-
profile pic that's online. It's a
My
web
flavored
comic
soda
called
water.
Destiny Intertwined. It's a Legend of Spider webcomic, but it's a prequel set 500 years before. It's not my webcomic, it's someone else's, but I really attached to that webcomic, but the community doesn't really like me over there. Just have to say that.
That's
That's
unfortunate.
not happened. But I'm still attached to the webcomic, and it don't even art. If you guys want to read it, Destiny Intertwined.
That's a funny video.
Like, Dragon and Life.
Destiny.
And I love how the only thing in that video that has aged well is PS4, just because like that's the most obvious thing that they've been predicted.
Mhm.
I just can't tell if that video is supposed to be a shit post or if it was like
I think so.
real or something. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That came up because we were talking about how like people were treating the Xbox Connect as like VR in the same way that we treat VR these days. Because there's a lot of games that came out on Connect that really felt like that they were trying to make something for VR, but it didn't work for Connect, like that one tank video game that we talked about. And then also the horror game that like you like moved around in spaces and you had to, like avoid zombies and stuff. And it was super clunky, but if it was in a VR headset type thing, then it probably worked a lot better.
On a
Yeah.
quick side note, speaking of tank video games, I really wish that Wii Tanks was its own game, so that way, like, it could keep getting ported easily, and maybe like other companies could grab a hold of it, because it is so simple, but it was one of like my favorite concepts for a game ever.
What was that on? It was on Wii.
Yeah.
Wii Play.
Yeah, it was one of the mini games on Wii Play.
Yeah, because that's like a tech demo for the Wii or something, right?
Kinda, yeah. It was like one of the games that gets sent with it to be like, this is how it works.
Yeah, and then like the tank video game was like legitimately a really good game.
Yeah, but it's stuck there.
Did I just reply? Oh, there we go. Sorry. I hate emails because like I'm always confused by like the reply and reply all thing, and it's like not. It's never like convenient. I feel like if I'm in an email chain with people, the default should be reply all, right? But it's not.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carance,
I mean,
for the info.
are you
on the
using Gmail
Invincible
or?
thing. I'm using a variety of different mail services,
Okay.
and they're all shit.
Yeah,
I gotta make some food and figure some stuff out with what I'm doing today. But if people have any like final questions or comments or whatever, if you want, then just raise your hand in the Zoom thing, and I'll get to everybody. Nico, what's
gotta
up?
think of one.
Sure.
I think I'm gonna head off. Actually,
That's okay. Thanks for joining.
Have a nice
good night.
Have a nice night, Anthony.
Bye.
See you next hangout. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody. So
Alright,
I'm
Nick.
planning on you Alter HD Blu-ray player from Facebook Marketplace
Mhm.
for. And so, what company would you recommend getting it from? Sony or Samsung?
I mean, I've seen good arguments for both of them on the 4K Blu-ray subreddit. Mine's a Sony, but my priorities in buying one was to have a region-free one. So,
All I think I read that all 4K Blu-rays are region
yeah,
free.
but if you want to buy the 4K Blu-rays themselves are region-free, aside from some. I think there's like 3 in circulation that were mistakenly region locked. But yeah, in general, 99.9% of 4K Blu-rays are region free. But if you're going to be playing regular Blu-rays on them, it's nice to have like a one that can do region free regular Blu-rays. So having a 4K player doesn't mean you can play any region of regular Blu-rays. It's just the 4K Blu-rays
Yeah.
themselves that are region free.
I just want to ask, what would you rate the second season of Euphoria? Because I know that you talked about on the cat.
I think it's been too long since I've seen it, but I don't know. Like, definitely not an 8 like I rated the first season, but something lower.
It's not trying to be like incentive, but I always thought that I never heard of the guy Shay, but I always thought that when I first heard of him, like last year, I thought he sounded like a younger version of you, like in the 2010s.
Yeah, he's the.
A lot of people say that.
He's the more exaggerated version of me. He's
I wish
He's
Shay
the
was...
one that actually hates Pixar.
Can you convince Shay to be on a Google? Not Google Hangout,
like a Patreon hangout,
Zoom call. Yeah, because I remember we were in one where he was like in the background, and like every like comment he would like reply with like someone's take on a movie was like so funny. I couldn't like stop laughing. He went on like a rant about that Michael Cera movie about the cactus.
Was that when I was
something.
living in like that other place? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, remind me and I can see if he wants to join on one of these, but fuck, I'm trying to remember. There's like a movie that came out recently and I was gonna like, oh god, I don't even remember what it was, but I was like gonna ask Shay if I could just have him on to make my opinion seem more reasonable.
That's amazing.
Some of it is a little bit more exaggerated. Let's see if I can find my ratings. Which ones?
Was it a movie that came out last month or something?
You would think so, and I don't see it in my recent ratings, so I don't know what to say because it might be something else. I don't remember what it was, but there was something that I was like not strong on, and then his was like way worse. But I don't remember what it is. Don't remember.
Yeah.
Damn. I can't even find it. Don't know what the fuck's going on. Olivia, what's up?
Do you know if there's a probability of like a stream tonight or?
I mean, it all depends on if I get those screeners in my email, and I like let's see, I got an email here. Most films are third party. Okay, I'm not gonna read this out loud. This is for me. What? Okay, so yeah, I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to interpret. Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send some emails and see if I can. Oh, here we go. I got a screener. All right, I got one screener now. All right, there we go.
What movie?
I don't even know if I can say what screeners are available. I think that might all be internal information, so I don't want to not get invited next year because I'm saying things. Sorry.
All right.
If the first public screening has screened, then I'll be able to like make a public rating about it, and then you'll know, I guess.
Perfect.
What's up,
Also,
Olivia?
You know, thank you for helping me get my job back.
Of course. Of course.
YouTube sucks.
How's that coming along? Is it?
It's
did it get
it's
resolved?
monetized again. We had to delete a
Yay.
single 8-second long video that was apparently reflecting the majority of content on the channel, which doesn't make any sense.
What was the video?
It was
the Saw clip of the
Saw
The
clip.
Saw jump scare.
Yeah, even though that's like it's objectively fair use, it's objectively commentary and criticism. We cut out
In
the
the
entire
email, they
first half
even-
of the movie and the second half of the movie, and the 8 seconds out of context with the title saying that it's a terrible jump scare is to provoke commentary and discussion on it. And it cannot be used as an alternative to the original market, but they consider that to be reused content. And the problem wasn't that it was on the channel. The problem wasn't that it was uploaded to the channel. The problem wasn't like the length of the content or it existing. The problem was that it got 1 million views in a month. So because their algorithm's shit and it's the reused content thing that we got dinged with takes into account watch time of a percentage of your content over the month. Because so much of the watch time was that video in relation to the rest of the content, even though it was one video and it was 8 seconds long when every other video is not like that and every other video is like at least like 12 minutes or something and, you know, has my webcam and blah, 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 blah. Their algorithm says that it's reflective of the majority of the content on your channel because it got views, which is out of a creator's control. Like, that's YouTube's fault. They promoted it in the algorithm. That's why it got views. So it took like a fucking week and a half to even get that answer out of them that was the video that was causing the issue. That we didn't have to speculate about that anymore. And then I got really pissed and, you know, made a bunch of emails, and then they were eventually like, okay, if you remove that video, we'll we'll do another review of your channel. And it's like, okay, well, clearly this. So we removed the video, and I'm not happy about having to have done that. But what are we gonna do? Like, keep arguing and like, you know, the real people's lives are being affected by this. So I can't. It made sense to just
like
delete it, which
Google,
doesn't make
you
any
know.
sense.
I was punished for having a successful video.
Yeah, they promoted it.
Right.
They promoted the video
Yeah.
like that. The issue was that it got views. The issue wasn't that it was on the channel or uploaded. It like it was the video itself wasn't like ineligible for monetization, but because it got views, it made the entire channel ineligible for monetization. There were no copyright strikes on it. It wasn't claimed by anybody. It didn't go against TOS.
Nope.
And so when all you know, when to everyone's best understanding, we were following YouTube's guidelines perfectly. Like, it's kind of weird when they're just like, oh, you're demonetized, and then won't give you any answers about it unless you cause a Twitter shitstorm and get their email and grill them about it for a week and a half. And then they say, oh, delete 8 seconds of content and you're fine. Your entire channel is now eligible for go fuck yourselves. This pisses me off.
The most depressing week and a half of my fucking life.
Well,
Yeah.
it's you don't have to do it again. Well, maybe you will, but not for a while.
I won't be surprised if they do this to me again.
Yeah.
I
see.
fully expect it, honestly.
I mean, just I guess be more careful about like those clips you upload, because what I'm willing to do is to just watch the clip in my editing software and full screen it and have my webcam in the corner, and then I start the video saying, this is the worst jump scare I've ever seen, and then I play the same 8-second clip and then end the video saying, this is the worst jump scare I've ever seen, and then we can upload that, and that's
Live
fine.
Adam reaction.
That's
Have
like
live
I'm willing
Adam
to do that and just upload that as a statement.
That
But
was like Facebook content where it's like, this is the
It's-
craziest
well,
video.
the funniest thing is like they've promoted Sniper Wolf as a featured creator, and all she does is react to
Yeah.
TikToks. And she doesn't do it like critically. She just kind of goes like, check out this TikTok. It's cool. That was weird. Huh? And it's like, well,
Yeah, my
YouTube has a fucking warped opinion on what reused content is, if that's what they're promoting, and are critical upload of the Saw jump scare was was considered reused content, and Sniper Wolf's content is not. Like, this shit has already been to court, by the way. Like, if you're making content the same way that like Equals 3 was, then it's not fair use, because you're literally, all you're doing is you're acting as a person saying like, oh, check out this video I saw on the internet, and the content is that video. The content isn't your commentary on the video. You can show the video and just be like, wow, that cat sure fell over funny. And it's like, yeah, that's apparent in the video. You're not changing the experience, right? So if it's not critical and it's not adding your own shit to it, like, it doesn't matter if you cut back to your webcam every once in a while. This has been determined in court, but YouTube doesn't understand the law at all. So
the difference is YouTube makes a lot of money off of Sniper Wolf.
I mean, they made a lot of
That's
money
why
off of
they
Equals
don't.
3, but that whole court case
They
was
could have made a
decided
lot of money
outside
off
of
of
that was outside of YouTube's control. Like, they don't really.
There's
They-
a lot
they-
of
they
They also
weren't
could have
involved
made a
in
bunch
that.
of. They
There's a
also
lot
could have
of-
made a bunch of money off of the jump scare video, but they just like shut that down as soon as it got to 1 million views. So
And it was all done.
Jump
It was all
scare
done
video did not-
algorithmically. It wasn't like a conscious decision they made. It's clearly the algorithm's designed in a way that it automatically would make a channel entirely demonetized based on the watch time and all those other factors. And the only thing that having an email conversation with a real person did was have them try to post hoc justify why the algorithm made the correct decision, and essentially say they're unable to do anything unless they remove the video that is causing the algorithm to do that. So they can't even do any sort of like manual change on their
What?
end, is what I learned. Maybe they can,
they
but
just
like
admitted-
it,
they
you,
admit that
if
you
they because you can tell that they didn't think that was like fair either. They're just kind of like they just have to do what the algorithm tells them, and apparently they can't
Oh,
make any
God.
real decisions as human
YouTube
beings.
is broken and stupid. And
Change the
awful.
algorithm. Clearly, it's not working. Anyway, what's up, BC 467?
I have to go, so I'm gonna have like 3 questions. One of them
Go
is
for
like
it.
really quick, and the other 2 are kind of long. Quick question is like, I know this on Saturday, but we're going back to Friday Hangouts after this.
Probably. I don't know. It depends. We'll see what days I have free next month. I should be
Alright,
able
I
to
just-
find some time. I don't know.
All right, then if it's on Fridays, I'll still be able to come to this because like I don't know, I might be getting a new job soon, so
Okay.
we'll see how that plans out. And then, okay, you know, I said I had 3 questions, but I only have one other question, I guess.
Mhm.
So I think I said that at like one time I wasn't into Pikmin, but now I am. But this got me thinking: has there been like a franchise or a piece of media or anything really that like you weren't into at first, but then you eventually got into? And this could apply to anyone in this call, really.
John Wick.
Elden Ring.
I got into John Wick 4. On the 4th movie, they finally got it.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
it's
the
not
easy
quite what I was
answer. I don't
saying.
know.
I didn't start liking Elden Ring until I started testing the boss checklist.
Yeah. Mass Effect took me a while to get into just because I was so confused on how everything worked, but on my
For me, it might have
third
been-
attempt, I got really into it.
I like
Excuse me, and
I like
loved it.
I like the
I think-
universe of Mass Effect a lot.
Yeah, same.
I think for me it's Metroid, because I played Super Metroid and it was all right, but I just wasn't really vibing with it too much. But then I played Metroid Fusion, and then later Zero Mission, because I was preparing for Dread to come out, and I had a pretty fun time doing that. And played pretty much all the games at this point, except for the 3DS one, which I still need to get back to. Yeah, Metroid's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess as I said, I got that with Pikmin. I wasn't into Pikmin at first, but after playing all of them, basically, I now love Pikmin. I'm in the middle of Pikmin 4, so I figured I'd do that though. But I actually have to get going because I have a really a baseball game I had to attend to for my family. So I'll see you guys. If I could, I'll see you guys next month if I can make it. I might not. It'll depend on how my movie situation goes.
Sure.
But I love your video. I love your videos, Adam.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
Try to. So, and congrats to getting the highlight channel back. So I'll see you guys next month. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything like that. Usually when I'm interested in a franchise, I try my best to get into it.
Mm-hmm. Easy Games, what's up?
I got 2 things to mention, but they're kind of similar, but I also kind of just thought of this because I wasn't sure what to ask.
Okay.
Are you aware of the movie Lyle Crocodile?
I'm aware of it. I think
Okay.
my boyfriend wants to see it at some point. I don't remember if That's
because that
really-
honestly feels like a movie that would work well for like Adam and Pals or something if you wanted to try
yeah,
that out.
maybe.
But it's real, like from all the clips I've seen from it, it looks really funny. Like the whole concept of like an alligator. It's actually an alligator, but they call it Lyle Lyle crocodile for whatever reason. But
Oh,
the
really?
whole premise is like, yeah,
I didn't even
yeah,
know that
it's
was
actually,
the case.
yeah,
I don't.
like
I mixed them up already.
yeah, like the title is not even correct, but like the whole premise is like the alligator or the crocodile or whatever. He can't speak, but he can sing, and the singing is done by Shawn Mendes or something.
Yeah, it's Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's real. All the clips I've seen from it look really hilarious. Although I don't know.
I'm
if
just
the
like
actual-
I'm cautious of doing like an Adam and Pals thing for like something that's purely a musical, because like I don't know how much of it is just going to be like the songs, or like if there's
from what I
like going to be
understand,
something entertaining while the songs are happening.
it seems like sometimes like some of the scenes are just like spoken word, but like in a singing way. Like I don't know if I want to spoil anything, but there's one scene like halfway in the movie from what I've seen, where like a character finds out that the crocodile is like alive and stuff. And then the first thing the crocodile does is start singing, being like, "Hey, this is not weird," but but yeah, I get. And the other thing I was going to ask was kind of related. Is like, how do you decide what movie you're going to watch for Adam and Pals? Like,
Just some of them seem like ripe, you know, like there's a stickiness. I don't know. I kind of go for like things that feel like weirdly nostalgic and probably haven't aged well. You know, I think all three of us kind of enjoy just watching like a blast from the past kind of like 90s movie, and you know most of them are going to be things that you can kind of riff on just by virtue of them being made in the 90s, like unless they're like a masterpiece or something, you know.
Yeah, and I've heard absolutely no good things from Lyle Lyle Crocodile, except from some of the short clips that have been like all over TikTok and stuff. Like the one scene where like the baby crocodile just like is being pet, and then all of a sudden it sings for absolutely no reason, and that went viral everywhere on the internet. But yeah, and that movie seems to like everybody would have like completely forgotten that movie even came out. I don't even think there was like a huge marketing for it. But like the only reason why anybody even knows about it is because it went viral on like TikTok and places because it looked really terrible.
There's people that straight up watch whole movies on TikTok. It's like crazy.
They like streaming
like
them?
Clips or like?
No, it's not stream. You watch it in parts. So like it'll be like part one. Yeah, it's like OG YouTube.
That's
with
funny.
Subway servers footage.
Yeah, they'll
usually.
keep watching it. Yeah,
Really?
with Subway servers at the
Oh, I
bottom.
thought that was
So,
just.
yeah, I was like talking
Wow.
to my sister-in-law who's like 15. She like mentioned this movie that I hadn't even thought about in ages, and I was like, "Did you watch it on TikTok?" And then she's like, "I watched the first half on TikTok, and then I found out it was on Hulu." And I'm like, "Okay."
Copyright, you know, copyright. We were just talking about copyright on YouTube, and like that's this whole thing. But like TikTok has a really weird thing with copyright as well, because I have a meme that I made that was like using like a dubstep song, and it had like a bunch of like videos of like people like building stuff in the background, and I just kind of synced it up with the song. And I wanted to upload that to TikTok, but I wasn't able to because the song that it was using was not like available on the platform, because the way that TikTok works is that they have like a bunch of sounds you can like add to the video, but obviously not all songs are on there. So if you try to like upload something that is not on the platform but it's also copyrighted, then they'll take it down. But there's some really weird like ways you can get around that. There's this one song that everybody keeps using where if you like put it into your video, and you don't even have to have it like play at all, you can upload that video with that sound in it. Like it doesn't play, but like it's just like attached the video to the post itself. It won't get copyright claimed. And that's how I was able to post that meme on TikTok and it to get like some views. Because otherwise, if I didn't do that, then it would have been muted and I couldn't be able to have anybody like use it as like a sound or something.
That's I didn't even know that there was a claim system on TikTok.
It's very inconsistent. like way more inconsistent than YouTube, I would argue. But like there's just some ways that people are able to like bypass the system. Like you know how like in the back in the day when people were like able to upload songs from like bands and they would just like increase like the volume by like a couple semitones just to avoid it. It's
Mhm.
kind of like that, but like either they'll like fake the sound attachment on the post, or they'll do something like the Subway Surfers.
Mm.
You know what the craziest life hack I've seen is there was like a musician that I like that one of her songs got leaked and it like kept being taken down because like it was a leak. So like the fans were like, we have a solution. So they put the song back together using AI, and the AI doesn't get picked up by copyright claim. So like
Okay.
everyone's just like listening to the leak, but in AI form.
That's really lame.
Where
and
I'm like,
funny.
and it's like so many steps, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why even go to this effort? Just wait 2 months for this album, you know?
Yeah. Leaks are stupid.
People
They
don't
are.
like
Yeah.
waiting. It's very annoying.
I
Leaks
know.
are
Yeah.
stupid unless
Like,
you're
everyone's
gonna
really
start making
impatient.
your own stuff.
I'm very tired of the Silk Song memes at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, have they even updated though?
They had a delay.
Okay. Easy games,
Silk
is that
Song
everything?
won't be out for a while.
Yeah, that's everything.
Okay. Tate. Hello.
Hey, so I just wanted to run this by real quick because I haven't moved into my new apartment. One of the big selling points of getting the place is that it had this big built-in shelf system that I knew I'd be able to take advantage of for sorting my movies. And
Mhm.
so it's really cool because this is the
It
first
looks
time I've
fucking
ever been able to.
full.
For the most part, yeah. There's some spare space, and a lot of it is taken up by plushes and figures and
Mhm.
stuff that I could probably put elsewhere. But for now, I think it looks super dope, and I'm happy.
I think my shelf is the exact same model as Adam's. It's like a spinning one.
I like the spinning one. It's very space efficient.
Oh yeah, but I think it's cool because like I had to get kind of creative with the ways that it would fit, but I also still somehow managed to make it work with a lot of the sorting that I like to do. So I'll run through it real quick. Down like at the bottom is some regular Blu-rays and DVDs, and then this is like my predominantly just regular Blu-rays, and then down this corner is TV shows,
Mhm.
DVD and Blu-ray. That bottom row right over there is steelbooks.
Damn it.
Steelbooks and 4Ks, mostly on the ones above it. Then that sort of like a lot of those above it are like the movie packages where a lot of them are regular, but they just come in like those sleeves or book cases that I think are interesting enough to warrant their own space. Then a couple extra DVDs up top, some international releases where a lot of them don't play on regular US players.
Do you have a region free?
Yeah, I have a region free one.
Okay, good.
And then this is Criterion's right there. This entire like row down,
Mhm.
and then I kind of forgot, but like this little area up here is Arrow Video. I don't know if you have.
I
any
do.
interest in-
I am aware.
What was the error video? I'm out of touch.
They do a bunch
They're
of
kind
4Ks
of-
and stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of like more for
Oh,
sort of like
the-
B
the-
films. In a
Oh,
way.
is it the distribution company? Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought you meant like a format. I was like, what's it?
And then the very up top with mixed in with stuff is like a signed copy of Marcy's Journal, which is the book which of like extra amphibia lore. I got that
Mhm.
signed by the creator. Then just some of the bigger box sets that I couldn't get down in there. Like there's some cool ones that maybe I'll show in future hangouts in detail, but I've got like the Bergman Cinema box, the
There's, like-
Agnes Varda box set, and
There's
the,
some, like,
Werner Herzog.
I see some kind of like free space where you can stack more on top of each other. Do you have like?
Yeah, I've been.
I used to do like just like a long piece of thick cardboard separating,
Yeah.
so they didn't fall in between when you picked one out.
Is it alphabetical?
No, actually, a lot of them are just done purely by like aesthetic, and whenever they have stuff like my criterions, especially, I have them sorted by like packaging. Like I have my
spine number.
No, I have them from like the thickest slip packs and digipacks go to the thinnest, and then my plastic cases all follow after that. And some of the thicker plastic cases are like at the front near where the digipacks end.
I sort by spine number for my criterions.
Like the packaging just changes too much for me to want to do that. I know it's like the most admirable way of doing it for those, but like I can't, my eyes can't bring myself to do that. I don't know why.
I mean, spine number is not the most efficient in terms of like organization. I really should be alphabetizing it, but the numbers are so appealing.
I know I should too, because someday I do want to make like one of those Blu-ray collection videos if I get like a following where I think, oh, enough people are gonna like care to see something like this. But if I do that, I know that like I have to do it alphabetically, at least if I'm interested in like doing timestamps for it.
I have there's this guy that is friends with a friend of mine, and my friend took a picture of his Blu-ray shelf and then like explained to me how it worked. And I was like, why are you showing me this? And he went, no, Jack, you're gonna get so angry, it's insane. So like it's alphabetized but by director's name.
I've seen that.
And then the DVDs are with the Blu-rays too.
Ew.
And I was like, this is triggering. And then like books as well. And then he was like, this is like the superior way of doing it. And then I was like, what?
That exists only to make people mad. There's no
yeah, exactly.
That's some pocket
What do you
dimension
think
shit.
of people who like, oh, if your title starts with the, it needs to be sorted in the T's.
No, you drop it. You drop it. You never do the no.
No, yeah.
The is never
that is not part of the that's not correct.
The is leading up to the name.
I will be sure to tell Fanboy that. Then,
oh, he does that?
We got into an argument about that.
Well, English isn't his first language, so.
Oh, no.
He speaks Portuguese, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's from Brazil.
Oh, he's from Brazil.
You don't know.
Fuck it. I don't know what. I can't identify.
You don't know what they speak in Brazil?
Well, I would assume that if he is from Brazil, he speaks Portuguese, but I really don't know. So.
Okay.
I mean, that's supposed to be the dominant language there.
I sent him TTSs and Google translated Portuguese, and he hates it.
Oh god.
Yeah, because Google Translate is ass for like any like actual speaking. Like
it's really bad for like Japanese too.
Also, the TTS cannot pronounce the words correctly.
Of course.
It mistranslates all the swear words, and it's like really funny.
And the translation's obviously not great either.
Okay. All right, everybody's final questions and comments. All good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Support the WGA.
What about?
Sorry, support the strikes.
Yes. But I don't know how I can as like a
I mean, right now there's no consumer boycotts right now at this time, so
yeah, it's a little difficult because I'm it doesn't seem like any like Barbie and Oppenheimer, a lot of people go into the movies, so I don't know if the average consumer is gonna like not go see a movie in theaters if they're told to strike. I think it's really just on the actors and writers right now, and we'll hope that it works out.
Yeah, as it stands right now, there's no consumer boycotts being called for right now, so we're all good. But like,
well, Hollywood's losing money anyway, so
yeah. But eventually there might be, but yeah, we're not there yet.
Okay, great. Well, I've got a couple screeners I can watch, so I'm gonna go do that, make some food, and catch y'all later. Thanks for your support. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it very much.
Bye-bye.
Sorry,
Alright,
sorry, I was
later.
distracted while
Bye.
trying. Sorry, I was distracted while trying to get those screeners the whole time, but it worked out.
Don't worry,
and now I have them.
it's
so.
all valid.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
valid.
thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye.